You are listening to the Savage FINcast, episode 93, Dung, Weiner hatch.
Chicago. A criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that plays solitaire with a deck of 51. My name is Jim Purcell.
I'm Craig Olson.
And I'm Raven Perez.
We got the fancy Perez for this episode.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that brings you discussions, commentary, feedback on all things Erik Larsen, Savage Dragon. We're talking about the latest issues, 248, and also Savage Dragon-related things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue 19 of the Urban Legends miniseries. It's fantastic. We have a good time. We always talk Dragon. We always have fun. We laugh, we learn, we love, we pray. You're going to learn something tonight, I promise you, as my cohorts Jim and Craig take you on an eargasmic experience. Guys, take it away.
Well, following all that's going to be tough. So right off the bat, we bring you some exciting, breaking Savage Dragon Erik Larsen news. We got a cover coming in for issue 252, which is one of my favorite covers of all time. As Erik has slammed us with a salutes the funnies concept, where this issue will apparently riff on popular newspaper comic strips, but in a Savage Dragon kind of filter.
For the listener, could you please paint a word picture of the cover to issue 252?
Well, in the most basic strokes, we've got Malcolm Dragon holding a bunch of food items on his arms, all the way up to his neck, and he's got his 4 kids running around him, while Maxine looks on terrified, I guess. Actually, I'm just looking at it now. It kind of looks like Malcolm is jumping up and down and crying.
He's like trying to set the table, and the kids are all getting in his way.
Oh, is that what he's doing? Because I thought he was trying to make a sandwich. But it makes more sense because he's got spaghetti and an entire ham.
The graphical style is not Erik's traditional style.
It's very different. It is.
Yeah, it's Dag.
You know, it's weird. It's weird. It is a bit Dagwood, but I also think it looks a bit like Chris G, especially in Jack's face.
I could see that. Yeah.
But she's got a really, really skinny Maxine. It is very different, but the cool thing, of course, is that it still reads as the characters we all know and love.
It's fun. I mean, like you said, 28 years of this comic, and this is automatically jumped up in my top 10 at least. Covers.
It's highly unique, and the cool part is apparently the logo, which is different than the usual Savage Dragon logo, was put together by a regular Savage Dragon letterer,
Farron Delgado.
Farron Delgado. All right, okay, and he kind of modeled it off of a very old logo, which I had, but now I've lost. I think it's Famous Funnies, from the 30s, which I picked up on immediately because I have seen covers with that sort of font, and it is a very cool font. Very fun.
What I love is a promise that is surely not going to haunt Erik.
Oh, geez.
Good news, now published every month.
Every month until the next month, then all bets are off.
He said, Erik said that tagline was pulled directly off a Blondie comic.
I would believe it. That's the only reason I would expect it to be there, is that it's a direct reference to something.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's funny. in light of 2019, we had 7 issues. And then, of course, COVID-19.
And thanks to COVID, it will be monthly for a little while.
Yeah.
Because I believe he is all the way caught up to 251. I believe he is starting work on 252 right now, as of this recording.
I believe, don't we also have some structure, Jim, on the just a little bit of structure? He commented on the how the issues he plans to set it up. 11 double-page spreads.
Yeah.
He said he's going to have 11 strips that he's going to reference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he said specifically double-page spreads though. He's looking for 11 strips that have a strong style, and also make sense with with Malcolm and his family in their trapped inside alive situation.
Right.
Basically,
I also think he said newspaper strips as opposed to
right
some of the newer digital. Like it has to be recognizable.
Because Erik would know of any web comics in this day and age. We ain't gonna see no Dr. McNinja or PvP.
Nah, he knows PvP. Savage Dragon starred in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I guess he did.
Touché.
Wild times that was.
I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I'm excited as fuck, and I think fan feedback has been explosive on this. I think the announcement he was going to do it, just I don't know. I've seen more likes and comments on those posts
on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook than most things he's done here in a while. So
it's a pretty exciting experiment. It's cool.
And you put your finger right on it, Craig. That's one of the cool things about Savage Dragon. For uninitiated readers, new readers, or whatever else. I have a friend that was just getting into Savage Dragon a few months ago. And I told him, I said, here's the thing. I said, part of what's so cool about this book is, I said, how does a guy keep the same thing interesting for himself for 28 years? He does experiments all the time. There's always some twist, some crazy layout or something or else. So for a lot of readers who are maybe just getting back into Dragon, or maybe they're getting into Dragon to get ride the hype train into 250, or even people that been gone for a while and they're coming back. This is going to be a really awesome experiment issue for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you guys think? What kind of strip styles is he gonna use, or what are you hoping for?
I personally want to see Popeye. I love Popeye. Popeye is one of the greatest literary characters of our time, of all time, and I just think Erik trying to do a Seeger sort of style would look so great, especially those great Popeye fight scenes of the classic era. They can be so equally brutal as goofy, and I think it would just work so well for a Malcolm Dragon, fighting anybody. Put him in a fist fight with Brawn, or put him in a fist fight with who's still alive.
You have a whole issue of characters still alive. Yeah. In 248, there's a million different VC guys.
But for me, that is my number one with the bullet.
Here's number 2 with a bullet.
Little Nemo. Because
because
Winsor McCay is one of the greatest comic creators of all time, and the trouble with doing Little Nemo though is that those classic Sunday spreads are just so massive. I don't think the comic page can actually hold it. Not in the same way. You would have to do a sideways spread, and Erik isn't going to do that.
Yeah, he already ruled that out. Somebody actually did suggest that. They're like, oh, you could do a sideways spread, and it could emulate the layout perfectly. And he's like, nah, just not interested.
Yeah, he doesn't like sideways. He did that one Doom Patrol one, and I think it put him off it forever.
It's like when you get a microwave burrito and it gets you food poisoned. You never want microwave burritos again.
Because they put the lettering on wrong.
Craig?
Does anyone not think he's going to do Family Circus? I feel like that's a given.
Do you really?
It feels like it does feel like a given, but also Family Circus creator kind of sucks. I don't know how much that will factor in.
Oh, really? I have no idea on the background of that.
Family Circus sucks is what's funny.
Also, Family Circus sucks.
Comic.
Yes.
Yeah. But I feel like, it's super like you see it, you know exactly what it is.
Right. Although I guess
especially with those little.
He might not suck as much as the BC guy, though.
I don't know anything. What do you mean, like politics wise?
Both of those comics just love shoving Christian stuff in it, and when that happens, they've got agendas.
Christian cavemen.
Oh yeah, you never saw this.
I'm just
I
saying.
don't think I actually remember reading.
Wow,
a BC
it was
strip.
like a whole thing where basically like all the BC characters are like getting converted to Christ.
I'm just saying the very concept of
So
Christian
strange.
cavemen is a parody right there. It like simply shouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, dude.
But I gotta like Family Circus seems like it would fit the Dragon family. Like it seems like a no-brainer to me. You have the kids, Maddie or someone doing the little dashed little footprint thing on one page or something, and another page is just the although the jokes might have sucked on it, he can make his own jokes up. It's not like he has shitty jokes to match it.
I also think Family Circus is good to parody because, like, if you just have, and I've seen a million of these parodies, and they're funny every time. If you have the sentence, okay, for the listener who maybe can't assume everyone knows Family Circus. It's very standard for Family Circus to be presented as a single static image with a typed sentence underneath, no word balloons.
It's not even technically. It's not even a comic.
Yeah, it's weird. Although the Far Side's done the same way and is very hilarious, so we can't say that.
They are cartoons.
Anyway, I don't want to get in the weeds on that one. All I'm saying is that, like, so basically you can have a Family Circus comic be hilarious. I know you guys have seen these too, where just the sentence is really fucked up. Like, it'd just be like a picture of Malcolm and like there'd be Amy there and like the sentence would be like, and that's why if you kill someone, you gotta say it's a mistake. Right. And I mean, I wish you'd laughed there because that would have been great.
I don't laugh on command.
But anyway, you get what I'm saying.
My name's Knuckles and I don't chuckle.
Dennis the Menace has almost the same setup.
I know.
Yeah, I feel like that's pretty well known too.
I like Dennis the Menace more. And Heathcliff.
Heathcliff's good, dude.
Do you remember what Farside got replaced with? Do any of you remember the name of that strip? Like, in a lot of newspapers picked it up.
No.
It was very similar.
It was similar, but it was definitely not as good.
Near side.
No, but you might as well call it that. But yeah.
You don't remember? You're asking us?
I'm asking. I can't remember.
No, I don't, dude. I after there was a golden age where you had like fucking Peanuts, and you had Calvin and Hobbes, and you had Far Side, and honest to God, like after a lot of the legends bowed out, I was like, I'm done.
Man, when did you read newspaper strips? When I was a kid, newspaper strips were like in like flux. The newspaper strips I read were like Curtis and Non Sequitur, which is like
I'm just a touch older than you, so I quit reading before you probably were reading.
I read in the tail end of Calvin and Hobbes. I was there when Calvin and Hobbes ended. And Far Side, now that I think about it.
What do you think is the newest strip out there that's recognizable by like the most people?
Well,
Boondocks.
There's only one.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I would say.
Boondocks is recognizable, but it's more for the cartoon. I don't even know if it's still a newspaper strip, to be completely honest.
No, it is. I mean, for me, I just know it as a strip. I don't really know it as the cartoon.
Because
it's the most prominent strip of modern era, for sure.
I feel that that's a dated thing, because Boondocks was popularized in the early 2000s. It's 2020.
What would you say, though?
Nancy.
Oh, well, New Nancy, yeah. New Nancy is absolutely fucking iconic as hell and really good. Oh, good call, Jim.
What's New Nancy? I don't know.
Oh, dear.
It's still Nancy.
It's
same
still
character.
Nancy, but it's...
Yeah, it's...
Do you know what Nancy is?
Yeah, of course I know Nancy, but what's New Nancy?
Have you heard of Garfield?
All right, so what happened was Nancy's original creator retired or died. I know he's dead, but now. He got replaced by a new guy who basically made the strip all about the aunt Fritzy.
It's a lady.
Which is ironic, but listen, I'm not done yet. The story's not over yet.
Oh, okay.
So during that period where they pushed the aunt to be the main character, Nancy and Sluggo kind of got buried in the plot in the strip.
That.
So that creator finally passed the torch to a new person who is a lady, and she has taken it basically back to basics of the Nancy thing, the Nancy premise, but she's modernized it in such a way that she's made like the way that original Nancy kind of like epitomized the Depression era. Now Nancy epitomizes the millennial era, and somehow Sluggo is still a orphan boy with shabby clothes, because that's how Sluggo roll.
Dude, it shouldn't work, but it works so good. Like, if you haven't read New Nancy is fucking fantastic.
It is.
Where do you read New Nancy?
On websites. But
I read
also,
it on Twitter.
I don't know. I didn't know if it was like published in newspaper.
Oh, I'm sure
I
it
read
is.
it on Twitter. Oh, it's published. Yeah, it's
Who
still
buys
syndicated.
a newspaper in 2020? But yes, you can get it. You can read it daily on if you just Google it, like I'll do right now. Nancy webcomic, and it will be the first. The first result will be Go Comics, and you'll be able to read every Nancy comic ever.
Go Comics fucking website sucks shit though.
Yeah, it does suck
if you
balls.
Can,
yes.
If you can just follow the creator on Twitter, like just if you Twitter Nancy, search in Twitter Nancy.
Oh
Comics.
wow! I was joking, but it really does go back to 1948.
Yes, Go Comics fucking sucks, dude. If you want the new Nancy, just go to Twitter, follow the creator, just search Nancy Comics. It'll come up because it's popular. That's what's funny is that because she writes about shit that people care about, like it's a strip that's like kind of like I read New Nancy and I'm like, oh yeah, it's funny. Like that's a relevant punchline to our lives. And like, man, that's a problem. The strips, newspaper strips, sometimes you read them and you're like, what goddamn corpse was this written for? Like, this is not funny. This is not interesting.
Yeah,
like,
I guess they have to come up with something like daily. It's hard.
I'll
mean,
agree.
That's the challenge of comics in general.
I'll agree, but at the same time, it's like sometimes it seems like I just don't know who the hell they're trying to appeal to.
You never
like,
work daily, right, Raven?
I never worked daily. I was delivering strips 3 times a week, and
Right.
strips are hard because like you got to be succinct. You can't drop a lot of word balloons, and so it's some of the hardest like comedy that you can do. But that's still if that's the beat you choose to walk, you got to walk it. And so yeah, strips are a lot of them are really shitty. We got in the weeds bad though, dudes. Like Nancy is good, and you're number one with the bullet. I also like Popeye. What about you, Craig?
Yeah, you've been oddly silent, Craig.
Well, I said probably Family Circus would have to be on there,
Okay,
but
number 2 with the bullet.
I know Jim brought this up off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Beetle Bailey, like a super patriot Beetle Bailey or something, would be kind of.
Well, that was my initial suggestion. Is do Beetle Bailey as like a SOS sort of a side thing.
Super Patriot Beetle Bailey.
Be about have Daredevil be the Beetle Bailey and like Super Patriot be the Sarge, or something like that.
That's good, dude. I like that. I like that a lot.
I don't know.
Although
I mean,
guess
there's
I
just so many.
guess now that I think about it, Super Patriot isn't SOS anymore; it's Freak Force. So I guess you could do it as a Freak Force thing and have Barbaric be the Beetle Bailey, and Super Patriot be the Sarge, which would be funny because that would mean the roles are reversed. The big guy would be the lazy one, and the skinny guy would be the. See, just the ideas just come.
You could do a Thor Hagar or something,
Yes, dude.
or
Yes.
Hagar, however they say it.
Haggard.
Is it Hagar or is it Haggard?
It is Haggard. At least I believe it is Haggard, unless I've been. I don't know what you would do with Mother Goose and Grimm.
Ugh. Nothing.
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 The
Terrible.
Lockhorns.
Ugh.
Lockhorns would be funny.
They're just two miserable people. It's
But
funny
instead,
because
but,
they're
ins-
miserable
but
and
instead,
they hate each
but,
other.
but instead, it's like Malcolm and Maxine, and they always end fucking. Same deal with Andy Cap. Actually, that
It's
makes
like his
that makes
fries.
that makes more sense because then you can do that big punch balloon, except it's sex.
I like it. I like it.
What about you, Raven?
I'm going to go. I got 2 weird ones for you, and this is what I'm hoping for. And I know I'm not going to
Shoot.
get my wishes, but here goes. Prince Valiant.
That's not too out there. I mean, I think a
No.
lot of people are pulling for Prince Valiant.
Just because of the brushy work, like I want to see this, like
Yeah.
ultra handsome Malcolm. You know what I mean? With like the dimples in the cheek, just really like the brushwork.
But
So
would people get it if it's not like medieval looking?
I don't know.
I think they
That's
would.
the challenge.
Especially
Yeah.
if you I imagine he'll drop logos on like all of this stuff too to help tie it all
That's
together
true.
further. So you make a big ornate Savage Dragon logo.
Yeah. Like, or he'd be like, "Oh, I can't believe that medieval times is open during the quarantine," and they'd just be like, you know, his family, like, you know, amongst knights and whatnot.
What's really important though, it's only like 2 panels long and nothing happens. And,
Yeah.
but it takes up half a page,
And it's lavishly
and
illustrated.
it only comes out
you know?
once a week.
You know who's also going to be a heavy hitter on this issue is Farron Delgado, the lettering. Because
Sure.
a lot of these strips really have lettering that's real distinct.
Yes, they do.
Well, because a lot of them probably are hand lettered these days.
Right.
I mean, you got to think like it's actually more time consuming to like pop up a computer. If you're doing a strip every single day, speed is everything. And so that's why hand lettering's not good for big books. But if you're doing a strip every day, it's probably quicker to just fucking write the lettering out. You know what I mean?
Well, and most of these strips were developed, a lot of the famous ones have been on forever, so it's just keeping with the same style. So even if it is digital, they probably had that font digitized or something.
Like that could even be like the splash page. Like we know that it's going to have a bookend of a single page, and then the other end's going to be a single page. Like it could just be like really lavish, like Prince Valiant style lettering. Like, oh, welcome to the Family Dragon's quarantine exploits, you know, and adventures. And then my other cut, get ready, you'll never guess it in a million years. Ziggy.
How would you do that though? Who would you make a pinhead?
That's not my problem. That's not my problem. I just want to
sure
see it.
isn't.
I just want to see it. I want to open my Savage Dragon Funnies salute to the funnies, and I want to see how Erik works Ziggy in there somehow. Because it's funny, because he's like a bold midget, dude. How do you do it? I don't know.
I really think that we need to get Carl Hornell back and provide a Savage Dragon Burt backup.
Oh, that would be good. That would
Listen.
be classic.
While you're saying that,
Or just Erik does it.
I just wanted to say, while you're saying that, Craig, it brings up a beautiful point that I think we should bring up in our discussion of this issue, because Savage Dragon is one of the only comics going in North America with such healthy back matter, like post-issue. Sorry to pop on you guys, I could hear that one. But post... Oh, God damn it. I did it again. I am so sorry.
Gotta say something to say post.
Yeah, people in their car, I apologize. But post-issue back matter, you get past the story and you get to read all these awesome strips. And we do have, what's funny is Savage Dragon's been going long enough that we do have famous strips associated with Dragon itself. There's Dragonbert, there's G-Man, there's Desperate Times.
Megaton Man?
Megaton Man? I mean, am I missing one?
Probably, but
yeah, probably. There are a lot of them.
I'm just saying you don't have to
I guess,
Dragon...
like those Night Watchman strips.
Oh, Night Watchman? Yeah. You don't have to drag in like Moonbeard and Brandon Draws and stuff. Although I do love those. I understand they're new. And if you're going for legacy salutes, like, oh man, I just feel like it would be a real missed opportunity to not throw a nod. At least a nod. Like in the background, have a Hitler's Brainburt. You know, like on a shelf. Or like a G-Man t-shirt on one of the kids.
Or the Desperate Times crew.
Yes, dude, yes. Very fantastic.
That would be cool.
I'm excited. Well,
So,
man.
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying,
it.
I think we did it. I think we chatted that one up, and that's just like how high
I think that's just the beginning. I think we could go on, and that's where it brings us to our Finteresting conversations. So, it's been a long time since we've had a regular episode of the FinCast. We've been doing a lot of retro FinCasts with the break between issues and this whole COVID thing. So, thank God we finally have 248 in our hands, but we don't have a Finteresting conversation topic to discuss from past episodes. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw this out here for you listeners. Based on our little news item, we're going to ask you the question we've been asking ourselves. you had a choice, or even what would you like to see Erik? What kind of style would you like to see him draw in for this Sunday's funny edition of Savage Dragon? Tell us what your favorites are, what you would be excited about. Let us know about our opinions if you think we're wrong about something, or offer your own interesting conversations for our future episodes. We'd appreciate that too. So you can reach us at savagefincast@gmail.com. And if you guys write in, we'll read your letters on air and discuss them.
Immortalizing you forever. Join the Pantheon of Champions.
Sold.
I don't know, I got a rumbly tumbly, and I think the only thing to satisfy this hunger, it just feels like a hunger I've been building for more than 7 months.
Yeah.
Does it rhyme with beet and lamados?
I think I want some treat meat, and I'm going to try so hard, dude. I'm cracking up. I think it's time for some, God, we just haven't had this in a while. It feels like magic. I think it's time for some meat and potatoes.
It's time. It's time, guys.
Let's dig into 248.
Can you believe this is out?
I can.
It's amazing. I'm holding it in my hands. I'm weeping.
Does it smell like warehouse?
It smells like COVID.
It does smell good. Beautiful print in my hands.
So
Jim,
yeah,
how's that smell?
Smells like mercury and tears. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I meant tears in general, but then I thought, wait, these are probably built in a sweatshop, so it's probably more literal than I thought.
Oh, Lord, you didn't have to go there.
Oh, that's why you were giggling. Oh, I went too far.
Your mind's darker than mine, friend. I think it's time we put an end to Malcolm Dragon once and for all.
I remember when this cover got posted, and I really love this cover.
It's a good cover.
And I believe we, at the time, mentioned it was somewhat kind of an homage to like a Juggernaut X-Men cover.
Right.
I don't know the one
Is
specifically.
that true? Do we ever find that?
I think it was just a similar motif, not so much like a direct homage.
Right.
Because it seemed like it would be a odd choice. But character ripping picture of other character in half is, I think, something that's definitely been done before, but hasn't been done as well. You be the judge.
I love captions on the cover.
Oh yeah,
me too.
yes.
And titties. I mean,
Titty should talk. I mean, characters should talk.
I don't have a problem with titties. I think this is fantastic. I love this cover. I love the silhouette of the, vicious circle minions at the bottom. Like,
yeah.
They're really vague. One of them's got googly fingers.
Galaxy Brain quiz. Who is that? Who's at the bottom?
Nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're
Samurai.
amorphic
Samurai's
blobs.
definitely in the middle.
Get out of here. How do you know that?
The hair.
I mean, she does have similar hair, but
Yep. I mean, I'm sorry. I know.
She does have hair.
I'm sorry that I know and you don't. That's all. Don't be jealous. That's Samurai right in the middle because I'm so cool and I know. And also we have those are the claw hands of. Just kidding. I can't keep it up. I'm about to laugh. I'm about to ruin my own bit.
I love that he's still doing the taglines on the bottom.
Yes.
Like the Gathering Storm and stuff.
in
That's cool.
fact, I want to say 252 is the first one without it because it's doing its own thing.
Yeah.
Because that's been happening for like a year at this
Yeah,
point.
It's been great. Good stuff.
It started in 244 with the Powerhouse issue.
What is Josh Eichorn, real estate novelist, a reference to?
Okay,
No idea.
I can tell you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's a Piano Man reference. It's
A what?
Piano Man by Billy Joel. It's a lyric.
Gotcha.
That is the only time, the one and only time Billy Joel knowledge will be a positive in your life.
Wow.
I assure
Wow,
you.
you're
I
just shitting
assure
on the
you.
man, aren't you?
I am.
Son, let me tell you a story. When I was 12 years old, I loved Billy Joel. And now I'm a grown-ass 37-year-old, and I still love Billy Joel.
I don't buy it.
Goodnight Saigon is a banger.
I think it's an act to try and get chicks.
I
Believe
walked by
me,
Billy Joel.
no
once.
girl on earth likes you because you like Billy Joel.
Billy Joel's mom. Come on.
Listen. I won't hear it. You hear me? You don't badmouth the Joel man in my house.
You go to any bar and you play Piano Man, and all the chicks will sing it.
But yes, if it says real estate novelist, it's probably a Billy Joel reference. Because
All
that
right.
is a very prominent line in that song.
Well, that's a good cut. I'm glad somebody knew the story. And more interesting to me than anything is that Craig walked past Billy Joel, so that's dope.
Yep.
I do think that's
interesting.
cool.
Was he coming out of rehab?
No, I was working in Boston at the time, and he was right near my work. He was just walking with some guy. I don't know. I noticed him right away. I'm not a fan or anything, but I was like, oh, Billy Joel.
I'm surprised.
That's my story.
Being a music man.
That's why.
Yeah.
He's got
What
taste.
more than Elton John?
You know what? I think I was burnt out on Billy Joel because of A, the 80s, and B, because every time we are in a bar and someone puts on one of his songs, my eyes just want to roll in the back of my head. When everyone's singing along, it just annoys me.
Italian Restaurant
Because
is
I am such a happy, cheerful dude.
Italian Restaurant is my favorite song of all time.
I am not a fan of dueling piano bars and things like that. Just not a fan.
I was going to say, what Roger Rabbit scene was that you were in that had dueling pianos?
There's dueling piano bars. If you look for them, you'll find them in every major city, and it's like a tourist thing. And
I do not want to be in that. I don't want to see
Sounds
that.
like paradise.
Well, that concludes the Billy Joel cast. Back to Savage Dragon. I love the cover, but brothers, I feel like we're treated to not only an awesome interior splash of Dart and the crew charging out of Stronghold Penitentiary, but then this double page spread. Oh,
just the sheer amount of characters.
yes, dude.
There's,
I love that first page. I like the spread,
Yes.
but I love that first page because you got the Stronghold Penitentiary in the background, like Dart's wild eyes, like just flying at the screen. I mean, you open up the book and you're like, God damn, like they're breaking out,
Coming at you.
It's awesome.
it's weird that how they get to keep their superhero suits in prison.
Hey, dude. I didn't want to see a bunch of assholes in orange jumpsuits. I'm glad.
I don't know, because remember, because this happens all the time. Stronghold Penitentiary breakouts. That first big one, remember the one where Star and Dart had to get rescued by Mighty Man? I think they were all in prison jumpsuits in that one.
Yeah.
And I love that one.
I think a lot of these characters weren't in the prison; they were breaking them out.
Oh, that makes sense.
Maybe they brought their costumes. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well,
But,
they definitely confiscated Samurai's underwear. So, I don't think everybody was allowed to have all of their superhero costumes, Jim.
But we got some faces that we haven't seen in a while, like Roughneck, who is not Roughneck. I'm a fucking idiot. Rogue Trooper. That's
Rogue Warrior.
Rogue Warrior. God damn it. Rogue Warrior is such a cool design because he's kind of got a dragon thing going on, and I guess he might even have a kind of OMAC thing going on too.
Yes, dude. Yes.
Do you remember when Dragon dressed up like him?
That
famously.
With the red paint on?
That
Yeah.
and I think that was like the first time he the character was created specifically for that gag.
Dude,
I want to say
one of the best gags of all time is
Yeah.
him just hiding his fin in that mohawk.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
and then Super Patriot touches him, and then his fingers are covered in paint.
Yeah. You got the green smudges after, like the red paint came off, and you saw the green underneath.
But I think he's a cool design. Well, he's a cool design
Yeah.
because he's a dragon design. But I think,
He's a tough dude too.
in a book that is running out of tough guys that Dragon can fight or Malcolm can fight, I think Rogue Warrior would be a good choice to beef up a bit.
Dude, there's goddamn Braun, speaking of that.
Yep, Braun's here. He's a big boy. So
there's a good mix of like 20-year-old characters and some of the newer 10.
yeah, there's Fountainhead and his laser eye.
Yes, dude. Yes. I love that he's there.
I love like the African American woman. I think she's just Warrior, actually, the one that kind of looks like the femme fatale Marvel character.
She's got cyber braids.
I thought she looked a lot like Battle Axe from, the ass down.
Yeah, or Big Barda or something like that.
Yeah.
Who's my boy with the exposed brain? I love him. He's Malcolm era too.
Yeah,
What,
he's kind of
the one on the right in the double page.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know him.
What's his name?
Split head.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Dude, he's goddamn awesome.
So on the first page we have Dart, Fountainhead, Ironjaw, who's cool. He's kind of a newer guy. We see Ragdoll's pants. Remember that guy that looks kind of like Raggedy Ann?
Oh, that guy?
We see his little stripy pants on the first page.
That's right.
Roadblock, who's been around forever, who's kind of like that rock guy. He's kind of cool. Of course, Rogue Warrior and Samurai. We talk about that tech head guy, who's like the green robotic head guy, who's just always in the background as kind of like a scribble.
Right. Yeah. The guy he's in like Rogue Warrior's armpit.
Yeah. And we see Lightning Bug. I mean,
I thought she reformed and joined the SOS. I guess she lapsed.
Back up at 200. Remember, she was like bad, and then they were like, "Oh, you should join the SOS." But I guess she, like you said,
didn't work out.
I fell on hard times.
Who's the Medusa-looking character?
Wild hair.
Is she new or is she old?
No, I believe she was in Freak Force a lot.
Oh,
I want to say.
And then there's this one guy with the tentacle wrists. I think we've definitely seen before.
Yeah, that's Wrath. He's kind of like Omega Red.
Yeah.
I want to say his first appearance was maybe like 100 issues back.
I think Green Fire Guy is brand new.
No, that's Bile. He's been around. He's just always in like that group of baddies. Never gets his own real screen time.
Is this a Magma Lord's legs that we're looking at?
I thought it might.
Yeah, volcanic.
It's the woman, right? The Volt.
Yeah. She's unique too, right? Because like she's not really a freak. She's just from the race of
underground people.
The Magmites or whatever. There's two different guys. I forget. She's either one or the other. It's two different races.
But it is cool to see all these villains together. These breakouts are always fun just to see. Of course, it also sucks because Chicago's got no one to stop them this time. Because everyone got sent to Canada.
Now,
I love the close-up on Braun on that double page.
Yes, dude. Yes.
His head with those teeth.
No nose.
Big, chunky, inked teeth.
Kirby teeth.
Oh, so good.
Fat fucking teeth, dude. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, this is 10 out of 10. Like, I got my money's worth just in these first 3 pages. I was like, oh, yeah. Oh. So good.
I love the samurai ass, like, sideways monkey mouth going on.
Hey, man. It's cheeky. What's funny is that, like, I put this... So this was in the 5-page like preview, and so I put it on Twitter, and I was like, "Yes, this book's still published and still kicking ass. 28 years strong, baby." And like, most people were like, "Wow, cool, like awesome." And I had the one dude, he's like, "Guess someone forgot their underwear." I was like, "All right, dude, come on now. It's not Where's Waldo with vaginas."
Or is it?
It is actually.
The coloring looks great, digital and in print.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
and it looks different in both.
Nikos is fucking a legend because I'm telling you, there's a decrease in dudes that know how to... I read another book. I'm not going to say what it is, but I bought another book this recent Wednesday that I picked up this and like another book, and I was just reading it and I was thinking to myself, I know this shit was not meant to be this dark. This is oversaturated.
Just muddled.
Yeah, it just turned to mud. And I'm thinking to myself, man, it is actually freaks me out that, like, you've got, like, working pros that apparently don't know how to print or color for print. and they're getting work. And I'm just like, what the hell? Any rate, I won't shit on them to build Nico's up. I'm just saying, like, I appreciate the hell out of somebody who their work looks so damn fantastic in print or digital.
So, moving along, we got Frank Jr. and Alex, who is showing gray. A lot grayer than last time. It's a good look.
Silver fox, baby.
Yeah, I like that. I like that he's aging her.
I don't remember her being this gray when we last saw her. Maybe she just stopped dying.
I mean,
yeah, it could be.
Dragon's not around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Dragon cares about hair.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. Like, she's still, like, the way Angel describes her, she's pining away. So, yeah, dude, she's just not trying.
So, remember a million years ago when we talked about 247, and I was concerned about the fact that Angel had been stabbed through the abdomen. Oh, God damn it!
Solidaire.
The stomach.
Right.
And that seemed like a serious injury, and I think you both sort of played it off as, nah, she's fine.
Dude, you called it. You get the glow. You called it.
But I don't think I'm happy about the fact that I won this round. Because, once again, we're back to that freak out well. Which of course, this time, for real, it's the last dose, I'm sure.
Hey. I hope so. I just get the feeling that you can't go to that well too much. He's not a man that likes to go to the well that often. So, it's fine. Come on, man.
This is the one time he can go to the well as often as he wants.
I will say that I would rather... Okay, listen. If we have to choose between Angel being paralyzed and him going to that well, go to that well, bro.
See, a long time ago, I had a dream that Angel would become the new super patriot.
Okay.
With her American motif and all that, and being super strong and punching Nazis.
Sure.
Wouldn't have this been a great time to give her some cybernetic legs?
Yeah.
Jim, I mean...
But hey, I'm not Erik Larsen.
It's all good, dude. I'm okay with this, but that would be cool. But, hey, we're readers, man, not writers. We're reading this. I think...
Hey, Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead, you.
No, I don't want to shift it because I have something else to say real quick. But
well, I was going to say is I do like this... I like just the, Malcolm in his toboggan and... there's their family doctor, and, they don't just go straight to that well. I like that they build up to it. Malcolm's like, sort of like, oh, man, my wounds will heal up, and I'll be normal, but barring some kind of miracle. And then, Maxine breaks, because she kind of, like, knows what he's getting at, I just thought that was good comedy.
Yeah. I just wanted to jump back to the Alex thing, because I looked it up real quick. She was born in 1972, so when, like, the book first came out, she was like 21, and now she's
40.
Pushing 48,
she's 40.
which is crazy.
Still doable.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, it's crazy. She's 2 years from being 50. Like, just the real time aspect of this, and just realizing that is kind of mind blowing.
Yeah. I mean, that's what makes the book fantastic, man, is your favorites. And I love Alex. I think she's fucking awesome. Hey, man, your favorites, you can't hang on to him forever, She's
actually
older.
Even Frank Jr. is kind of getting that receding hairline like his father.
He's got that widow's peak already, doesn't he?
Yep.
He's going to hook up with a girl named Mildred. Just really following his old man's footsteps, Blackmail his cousin. Calm down, Frank Jr.
That doctor's been around in previous issues, right?
I think
so.
so.
He's their family doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. He's been dealing with basically every medical emergency these people have had since they got to Canada.
Yeah, I mean, and what's funny is he kept this guy. What's funny is this doctor, who we don't know his name immediately. Think how, like, what a secret keeper he's proven to be. Because, like, even when the public, like, didn't know, like, what had happened, Because remember, Angel got fucked the fuck up by Scourge, and they pulled off the miracle, like basically brought her back from death using Malcolm's blood, then a dose of freak out. And this doctor, he kept that shit under his hat, dude. The whole public was coming for the miracle cure. It was the cover where they won Malcolm's blood, remember?
Right.
So I'm just saying, dude, this doctor's like, he's a trooper, dude. He's true blue.
Dr. Figbomb. He's been in 233, 234, 238, 240, and now 248.
If he ever gives up his life of doctoring and becomes a wrestler, his finishing move could be called the Fig Bomb. I'm just saying. Just saying. Important to note that, and it plays a part in his story, Maxine wanted to use this freak out that's going to save Angel's life. She wanted to use it to depower Maddie, who kind of is too young, can't control her lightning powers. Maxine's terrified that Maddie's going to kill her. Right. So it's interesting. Maxine, reluctantly, she's not really what you call like kind about it, but she reluctantly makes this sacrifice of her own well-being to bring Angel back from paralysis. So not a heroic moment, but still she made the better call there in the end.
Right. I mean, really, what choice do you have? You have to do it.
Yeah.
But I am really glad that freak out is gone, hopefully, after this.
We should have a conversation when we get there. We totally should. Put a pin in that for like when we get to that moment.
Sure. Because
I think, especially the way Jim hates it, I think it's worth talking about for sure. I love these two shit golems, don't you guys?
Yes.
Blossom and Dumpling.
You gotta wonder if they're... The stuff they're talking about, where one of them is telling the other they should put out more, suggests that they put out some. Do you think they're just bullshitting each other and are crazy? Or they're literally freaks in Chicago willing to go with the shit golems?
That's what I'm saying is, how does Jimmy look? He's like, yeah, baby, come on over. You know what I mean?
Dude, just look at like the weird stringy slop coming out from between their legs. It's so gross.
Craig, I wish I didn't already see that.
It's so
I'm
gross.
pretty sure Jimmy is one of the other Next Generation Vicious Circle guys. I think it might be the Octopus Kid.
Oh
no, that's Waylon Whipple.
Oh right.
Yeah,
oh, maybe I'm wrong about that.
Jimmy, I think, is the Cutthroat guy.
Oh right, that makes
Jimmy's
more sense.
Okay,
yeah,
there you go. Goddamn. Wow.
I know he was one of them.
Okay, well, you know what?
Why can't they just wear like suits? Like everybody else wears suits. Why do they have to just be sloppy, drippy shit all over?
I still want to know if they're actually like human, or if Dung has somehow imbued life into shit somehow.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Dung, having these two shit golems makes Dung infinitely crazier, like, as a character. And I too.
Because I remember when his wife left him, he said he made them for her.
Yes.
Mm.
That's
Do you think he made them for her because he cannot get out of his suit?
Right.
So he can't, like, his wiener won't come out unless he's got a little, like, wiener door in his, like, metal suit.
I think we broke Raven.
The Dung wiener hatch.
Because obviously, right, he doesn't need to shit. Because it doesn't mean he just probably shits in the costume.
Right.
So he doesn't need a hatch to shit.
Yeah. I agree that he didn't have to. But can you imagine, like, how's he get the food to his face? He's got to use those shit cannons.
Yeah, he's got no hands.
I just imagine shit doesn't bother this guy. Because he lives with shit golems. He shoots shit everywhere.
Yeah. He's pretty immune.
Maybe he doesn't need to eat. Maybe he just ingests whatever.
Yeah, he just absorbs it from whatever dimension it comes from. All the nutrients left behind.
Dung's incredible. That's all I'm saying is Dung is an incredible character because the more you think about him, the crazier it gets. And I know you're not supposed to, but it is so.
But just the no hands thing in general, it's just like, 7 tubes that shoot shit, and a lot of times when he draws those tubes, it still has like residue all in them and stuff.
They're dripping, a lot of the times.
And then his shit kids are just like making shit footprints all over his house.
Dude, you said why don't they wear costumes? That's why. Because like, what would you wear that would contain shit? It wouldn't be stained and just soak into it.
Like just some kind of like sealed up Tyvek suit thing.
Do you imagine like their logo, like on their icon, would just be like a circle with a turd on it? Or
Just be like the poo emoji.
just a swirl, a snake turd. Oh
Soft
my
serve.
god. Yeah. I think they're awesome characters and I love them
So
and
odd.
I don't
So
want them to go
odd.
away.
I love the smup.
Yes, dude.
Punches are smup.
Their sibling fights crack me up too. Like, cause they're just like shitty sisters, you know, just like mad at each other and stuff. I hate you. Get your hands off me, you smelly piece of shit. So good.
I love the Dung. The Dung dialogue.
Exactly.
You get classic Dung dialogue in this.
Settle down.
Settle down, you eye.
All day.
You wrecked the apartment all day?
So
Where's your mother when I really need her? Today?
But nah. We gotta say, I'm sorry. I'm sure many Savage Dragon fans already know it. It's well-worn territory, but for you listeners who may not know, Dung is based on the late DJ that Erik actually knew. Dung was his name.
I'm not sure if you knew him or just listened to him on the radio.
He confirmed that he would come and visit the studio. He was a friend of a guy that Erik had a studio with.
Oh, probably Al Gordon.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because I'm reading another Legion of Superhero comic Gordon wrote, and there's a Dung reference. So
yeah, he was on K-Fog in San Francisco, and you can listen to some of his recordings, and they're freaking bizarre. They're awesome.
They're awesome. You really have to, because the way I read this in my mind was nothing like the way he sounds. And so you got to listen to it.
He's like a DJ in the vein of Wolfman Jack.
Yeah.
And I got that crazy, like, gravelly voice and just, I don't know, just talks fast and furious. He's probably one of the funnest DJs you could listen to on, at the time.
Settle down. Don't fight with your sister. You wreck the apartment all day. Like that.
Oh, day?
Yeah, he's got a weird way of talking, dude. I love it. So we gave Dung so much love. I want to say, I think Angel's hotter as a dragon. I think
She's
that,
all beefy.
Yeah, dude. Isn't it funny that like she just got jacked? Look at her super jacked.
This is a look into the future for when Amy grows up.
Yeah, or Jackson. Like, you know how big Jackson's arms are going to be? Diesel.
I got to say one thing that's always been kind of funny to me. I think we've talked about this before. Like, when you get the blood transfusion, your fin grows in quick.
Yeah.
But when you heal normally like Malcolm has to, his fin don't grow in quick. I guess, and I think we speculated it had to do with like it being such a shock to the system. It like puts your healing into overdrive.
Yeah, it overwhelms the human body.
Right, and that's why you explode.
Yeah.
Probably because it just keeps going.
Yeah, that's
so
what
that makes sense.
I mean, you can imagine like the physical transformation. You're losing all your hair. You're growing a cartilage fin on your fucking head, and your musculature becomes jacked up. Your pigment changes color. Like, that's a lot of physiological change, in like a pretty rapid fashion too.
But you feel really, really good until you blow up.
Yeah.
I do love that they have to stab the tongue because, like,
the
hide is too tough.
Her most vulnerable area.
Which, if you think about it,
put it in behind the eyeball.
Isn't it kind of crazy? Because, like, if Malcolm, like, was eating, like, a cupcake with, like, a poison-dipped, like, barb in it, and it, like, scraped his tongue, he could get poisoned. Isn't that weird?
He'd heal the poison.
He's got the
healing factor. Yeah, you're right.
But you're right. They should target his tongue with blades. That'll hurt him.
I mean, Dart could, so what now? Weiner? What now, Dung Weiner Hatch?
You could totally do a reverse open face, and like someone could like bite his tongue out of his head.
I'm just saying, if Dart was to get this knowledge,
Oh, you
I
mean
think
I see what you're saying. Just throw a dart in his mouth.
yeah, with a freak out dart or something, right in
Yeah.
Malcolm's mouth, then goddamn, he'd be fucked. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now who's awesome? Me, because I thought that. I'm just saying, it's awesome. I do love the perspective on the tongue panel, where like the teeth are just right up in your face, and like you can see Frank Jr. in the background.
Yep. See those dragon fangs.
Which it's interesting to note. I hadn't even thought about that until we were just now talking it, but kind of think about that. That's Frank Jr. witnessing a major weakness.
I'm sure he'll turn evil any day now.
Jim, you don't know. He could be squeezed for cash. Anything could happen. You were right about Angel being paralyzed. What if I'm right? I'm just saying it could happen.
You're right. It could happen.
Insect and Samurai. These are two designs that
They are good designs, but the very first panel does sort of illustrate a problem with Bug's design.
What?
Look.
Is it insect or bug?
It's insect.
It's insect. Did I say bug?
You did.
All right, insect. Look at her head. Look at her face.
Yeah. So
Which end is up?
the chin is facing the left of the page.
Well,
because
obviously.
she's been punched.
But I'm just saying, at a glance, you can't really tell.
Jimothy, I disagree.
You can tell because it's got the little pointy eye things.
It's also smaller. Her mouth is smaller than.
But that
the
could just
dome
be
of the-
perspective.
But it's not.
But it's not.
I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem. I think it's fine.
I love how it opens up with stupid cunt.
Yes, dude.
Ram.
It's pretty extreme.
I gotta say, I do love that they're getting screen time.
Yes.
I love that some of these characters who we see a lot of, but we don't get a lot of dialogue from, are getting some screen time. I hope they become like the next, Skullface and Cutthroat.
Yes.
Like Dart's right hand people. I feel like Samurai kind of has been.
Yes, dude.
But I want more story, man. I want to, what's under that mask? What's their story?
You'll see one day. Like, that's what's cool, is that, like, or maybe you'll never see. But
You might not ever.
You
There's
might-
a good chance of both.
yeah, you might not ever see, or one
Like, what's
day.
their powers?
We've
It's
seen
unclear.
Insect do stuff. Insect can wall crawl, can't she?
She can, like, stick. Yeah, I think so. Which would make sense.
Samurai, on the other hand, I've never seen her do anything other than just be strong. I think. Or am I
Like,
wrong?
what's that gas mask about? Does she have, like, problems breathing or something? Is she, like, horribly scarred?
Maybe she's fucking ugly. Who knows?
Maybe she's the most beautiful woman on Earth, and she doesn't care for it.
Dude, it could be the angel fake
isn't
out.
wasn't that kind of like one of the theories floated with, like, Dr. Doom back in the day? It was
Right.
like he had, like, a small scar, but he was, like, a handsome guy.
Right. Yeah.
And then someone, changed it. But
Yeah, they went and retconned it, but the small scar ruined the perfection of his looks, and so he hid his face.
which is a way better
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. Way
Someone to be so
better.
vain.
Dart is awesome as shit. I like how you see her, like, Insect and Samurai are ready to fucking kill each other, and Dart just telling them to stop. They stop. Like, it just really sells Dart as a badass.
Well, Dart was a pretty good leader, except for the crazy part. Although now she doesn't have the God Sword to keep everyone in line. So she's kind of got the Antonio Spaghetti problem of not having the muscle to back up her brains.
I think she's still pretty fucking lethal, dude. The way she can ninja around and explode people with her darts.
Still, though, Spaghetti was never, physically impressive, so definitely she has an edge up on him, but she's still just human. These two superhumans could probably kill her pretty easily if they really put effort in. But clearly they still respect her from her days as being the Vicious Circle head.
But she's probably about as powerful as Batman, honestly. She's trained by Sergeant Marvel, who's kind of a Batman.
I'm not saying she's not capable. I'm just saying that this has been an ongoing problem with your human-based characters, especially within the Vicious Circle. It's pretty it's pretty uncommon for there to be a non-powered Vicious Circle member. Because freaks are so, well, they get into fistfights all the time because they're crazy.
You're witnessing it, though, baby.
I do think it works, though. Like, as much as Batman can be, like, one of the main Justice League characters, I feel like Dart can use her kind of.
I'm not saying that she
arts
couldn't
and cunning.
beat one of these two, but I'm not sure she could beat both of them.
I don't know. Yeah,
They-
I'm not sure.
I
just
know
like
this.
to think that she's pretty cunning.
I know this. They fell in fucking line.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is she's got credibility because she was there. They were, recall, they were like her second in commands when she was the VC head.
Mm-hmm.
So they have at least enough respect for her there.
But she still is.
Yeah, but she also had the God Sword then, which really helps keep your soldiers in line. When
Remind me, what happened to the gods?
Dragon broke it, or Malcolm broke it. Honestly, it was kind of anticlimactic. Because he just caught it and snapped it, because apparently it didn't have any strength in the sides.
I don't even remember that. Yikes.
I think it's cool. Here we just see Dart fucking breaking up their fight with just her words. And she tells them, hey, look, dudes, we got to get the fuck out because America sucks. And they're going to bomb Chicago with Freak Out. Which is fucking crazy.
Which is, it is interesting because she is non-powered. She would not be affected by this. So clearly putting these people's, interests ahead might actually help a lot to, make her seem like a capable leader. Because she's the one person who really acknowledges the problem, even though it doesn't directly affect her.
Well, it does affect her though, because
oh right,
her whole
that's
army's
right.
Going to be turned to.
She's half shark
humans.
right now.
Well, that too, but I'm saying if all the Vicious Circle gets freaked out, then she's got nobody to be her minions or to.
You telling me an army of Batman?
She lost her whole gang. Huh?
You telling me you just said she's like Batman skilled. You telling me she couldn't put together an army of Batman?
Put together? No, I don't think she can.
No.
I think she needs superpower freaks to do her dirty work in business because she can't be everywhere.
Right.
She needs to run the city.
Another plot point that's real easy to forget. Dart has a shark baby.
She
a
does.
shark dragon baby. And so if it's freaked out, then it's less potent and less powerful, and clearly she cares about the powers and so that's another reason to get the fuck out of Chicago.
Well, but like Jim said too, she also has the shark powers.
She doesn't care for them, I believe.
That's right. God,
She got bit by radioactive shark man.
Is she immortal?
I don't remember. I don't know if I can't remember if she took the
Little Rascal's blood, right?
She was trying to get at it. I don't know if she ever got it.
Oh, we should be better than
how
this.
come Super Patriot isn't like a shark guy?
Yeah, right. He did get mauled.
Or Dragon.
Yeah.
Well, Dragon's immune.
Yeah, Dragon wouldn't be impacted. Super Patriot would. But you don't want... The thing is you don't want Mako, anybody who gets his... I think it's got to be blood transfusion, right? You can't just be
I'm making a joke, but I actually can't remember how she got her shark powers. I'm going to get on the wiki and find out.
Yes, please. Right now I know,
I'm pretty sure she got bit by Mako before she killed him.
Yeah, when she cut him with the God Sword, he nicked her. That does
the Gavins and the Welsers of the world are going berserk right now.
For the listeners,
but you're right. If that's the case, why only her?
Those are two super
new
fans.
people are like, who are the Gavins and Welsers?
Yeah. Those are just two super fans. Gavin is the editor and maintains the wiki, and Welser is just a bum. Just a bum. Just a dirty bum. He just knows this shit too. So. We can buy a little screen time for you while you do your research. I love Little Finn Malcolm being in the book. I love it, dude.
I wasn't sure we were going to get it when he had the little hat on.
Yeah, I thought it was folded over or whatever, but here it is. And Maxine's clearly still relying on alcohol. Clearly drunk.
Here. Yeah, just hiccuping a lot, I guess.
Yeah, and just being weird and corny, look at your little fin. And he's like, I can't. It's on my head. I can't look at my little fin. Knee sock. Just kidding. Crab meat. I'd love to crab meat.
Those pet names are off the hook.
I am not a fan. Mostly because of how bad they are.
Shut up.
Is this how couples talk? I don't think I'm into that.
It is. It is all the time. You just don't know what love is until someone calls you crab meat or dog food, and you just don't know. That's how you know you've really reached a new level. See, first there's physical intimacy, then there's emotional intimacy, and then there's incredibly absurd nickname intimacy, and that is the third and final. That's how you know. Erik is signifying to us that these two are at a level of love that most of us will never achieve.
They can call each other dumpster fire, and they stay together.
Yeah. It's okay there, skin flute. You know, that's what they call each other, little nickname. Whatever you say, Beaver Dam. So, but yeah, I love that we got the Paul Dragon Malcolm, like, with the little fin. For, again, new listeners, it's a classic Savage Dragon. It's a childhood creation.
It's not exactly like the Paul Dragon fin. The Paul Dragon fin is more of a ridge.
Right,
it's like a poop laid across your forehead.
It is, though.
I'm sorry.
It's like if somebody rolled dough and laid it right up the middle of your head. That would be.
But it's weird because he's got certain angles back in the day where he turned his head and it looked flat, but then like straight on it looks like wide.
Yeah.
It is weird how he reads more bald with it so short. He doesn't, because these guys don't have hair. Dragon and Malcolm have never had hair, but, you never really think about it because you got the fin taking up the space.
So, I love that we get the return of Malcolm's childhood chums.
Yep.
Dude.
Yeah.
Way the fuck overdue.
Finally, the Johnson twins.
Johnson twins have arrived.
And the Janies.
Okay, Craig's going to say that he's won the bet, but I have a follow-up.
What?
All right.
What? Okay, clarify that for listeners.
Wait. So let's just talk about the long-standing.
Yes, please, because nobody's gonna
Johnson
know.
twins, who I like to bring up every other episode because I really wanted to see them come back,
right?
And I wanted to see the messed up Johnson twin. What's his name? Is it Mark or which one is it? Peter or Mark?
Peter is the ugly one. And Mark is the handsome one.
So I need to know why these kids are like they are. Why is Peter all messed up?
Well, see, that was always your big. That's always been your big sticking point. Is you have believed that because he's ugly, his face is messed up, that signifies something of importance. Because they were both conceived while their dad was possessed by dragon. So. In fact, we find out here that they both have gained superpowers. They're now strong, super strong, as a result of this coupling.
Yeah, to quote them, it messed with our DNA.
So they got, so dragon's strength somehow got mixed up in the DNA.
Right, so they aren't chosen ones, but they do have, it's like when Dragon was made powerless, where he was still strong, but he no longer had his healing. Right. So I take it as kind of a similar thing, where they are strong. They have dragon strength.
And you don't think the messed up one has anything to do with Dragon? You think he's just messed
No.
up?
I don't. Right, exactly. I don't think he's messed up because of any reason of his birth. I think some people are born ugly. But you always seem to imply that because he looked different, he would be a special one. But we find out here they are both special.
No, I always thought they were both special. I just thought his look had something to do with Dragon's interfering with William Johnson's body.
I guess what I think that Rita Metermaid is like not. Is it Metermaid? Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Rita.
Yeah.
Rita is obviously
Beatles song.
She's meant to be a hot character. And William's a kind of an ugly, scrawny dude. So I guess that my theory is that one of them got the dad's genes and he's an ugly ass, and the other one got the mom's genes and he's handsome.
Yeah. That's always kind of how I took it. I mean, they're obviously not identical twins. One of them has black hair and the other has brown hair. So they're fraternal, not identical.
one of them's got like fucking ridges in his nose, and the other one's handsome.
Yeah, they're definitely
Well,
not
to
identical.
be fair, you can have identical twins with different features. It's just uncommon. You know, things can happen in the womb.
Did I ever tell you guys that, like, when I was a kid coming up, for some reason there was a fucking absurd amount of twins in my area? Like, a lot, like 4 or 5 sets.
It's all that coal radioactivity.
It's weird. That's
Well,
all.
you see that on a lot of people that are like taking medication
Twins?
to get pregnant.
Oh.
But I will
Yeah.
say this: the Johnson twins having powers is cool.
Yeah.
Because this is the big thing that I've been wanting in Malcolm Era Dragon for yonks, is having the next generation of heroes of the last generation come up.
Yes, dude. And that is why I'm so thrilled. Because to me, these characters are very strongly associated with Malcolm in my mind.
Right. They had all those adventures in Dimension X. They should be best friends,
Yes.
but you never see them. They should
Yes.
be Malcolm's core supporting cast, but you never
Right.
see them.
Right. It was crazy. And again, like theories, we don't know. We'll speculate. Hey, let's go to speculation town for a second. I feel like honestly they would have made this connection sooner, except maybe this move to Canada wasn't meant to be so long term.
Right.
And then
Well, also when they came back, they were still kids,
right.
so they don't really have a choice of where they live or where they could stay.
And they even say here, they're like, oh, we finally got our powers. So, like, they didn't have powers. So, really, other than the Janies, there wouldn't have been too much of a reason to have the Johnson twins around.
Hey, you go into Dimension X and survive with no powers, you gotta count for something.
Malcolm kept them alive, dude.
Yeah, well, still,
They were
though.
just a little couple of ugly pussies.
counts
One
for
of 'em was
counts for
ugly.
something.
One of them was ugly.
But anyway, they were going by the Crusader, the blue one with the lightning bolt on his chest, and the Destroyer, the brown one with the kind of the Wolverine color scheme. And
Yeah, Wolverine, dude.
Jannies are calling themselves Web Slinger and Wall Crawler.
Yeah, I love Web Slinger and Wallcrawler, dude. As names, I think that is fucking genius and hilarious, and I think those are great names. I think Destroyer's an awesome name.
It
But
is.
Crusader,
Ah, well,
I'm cold on that one, dude.
yeah,
that's lame.
that's the name of a douchebag.
It is, dude. Crusader? It's like he knows he's handsome. Isn't it?
I do have to say, and this is the thing. It's one thing for Samurai to not be wearing underwear. She's a bad guy. She's a bad girl.
Oh, no.
I don't understand why the Janny twins aren't wearing underwear. Doesn't sand get in there? Isn't it just a really bad idea to fight crime with no underwear?
Jim, do you hate sexy fun?
I mean, I get that's where their webbing comes from, and it kind of has to be open.
Do you hate sexy fun?
I thought it was a fair question in light of this criticism.
Maybe if the Johnson twins arrived in Speedos.
Oh, jeez. The old equality argument. They're hot already. Do you tell me these dudes aren't sexy bastards? One of them?
I'm just saying they're not going to get sand in their buttholes.
Yeah, well, if they shot webs out of their dick holes, they'd be have no underwear too. So, but they don't. I disagree. I think your argument is invalid.
I want to say two things. I'm amazed that there's still two Jannies and Erik somehow.
It is
killed
so
them off.
great. I love the Jannies. You call them the Janny twins, but they're not twins. They're the same fucking person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both quarter god, half Spider Woman.
Yeah.
They both call themselves Janny, so it's like impossible. to
The
tell
funny
them
thing is,
apart.
I don't think they actually are going to distinguish which one's Web Slinger and which one's Wall Crawler. I'm pretty sure it's just interchangeable at this point.
Yeah. And why should they? I think it's kind of funny. You really don't know who you're looking at. I hope he has some fun with that down the road at some point, like narratively. Like, you just don't really know which Janie is the Janie that you're dealing with, and they're even just call
Also,
each other.
They don't have noses, so really, Ugly Johnson's really in the winner column here.
I mean, is
the
he?
other. I want to see a close-up of him. Like, you know when Erik usually opens up books, the first page has got like a real close-up detail.
I don't know, that fourth panel is pretty close-up.
Yeah, I just think he's got ugly ridges on his nose, dude.
He's got a wide nose, yes, and he's very chiseled.
He's gotten more handsome over time. When he was a kid, man, he looked like a toad, I swear. If you look at, like, I want to say around the issue 70s or something like that, when they were kind of like toddlers, he looked like a 1920s Chicago gangster with a body of a toddler.
He grew into his ugly looks, dude.
See here?
I'm the ugly one, see?
I'm sure we'll grow to love him if he lives.
Yeah, I think he looks definitely more handsome, but he's still got his ugly, rigid nose.
I hope they have something more than just super strength, or just at least their characters developed really well. Because, I like what you guys are saying. Like, they should be kind of best friends for all that they've went through.
For sure.
I just hope he makes them interesting. Like, I need them to be interesting. They're kind of like, they're heroes. They don't have any masks or anything. Their suits are kind of weird, but they are based exactly on the old kind of Paul Dragon comic.
In fact, I think that lightning squiggle is very familiar to me. I think in a previous reprint of like the first appearance of Paul Dragon, I think that exact costume appears.
Verbatim.
Yeah, both of their costumes are exact.
Yep.
From the old.
Which I love. I think that's a great take. I want to say that I do think both Crusader and Destroyer have awesome costumes, even though they're simple. They kind of like look basic, but they still have a good look. And a reader pointed out in the Facebook group that Crusader has primary colors and Destroyer has like secondary colors, which I think is very cool. It's a cool little touch. I like it.
And of course, Maxine can't wait to get into a big sweaty heap.
Well, remember, important to note, because I will bring this up later. At this point, she was drunk and horny. And believe it or not, that's story arc progression for Maxine. So we'll bring... I'm not joking. We'll bring it up later at the end of the issue. So this is a sweet panel. Normally I criticize like photo usage or whatever, but I think this looks really cool. I think when you use it
that is just a photo.
Yeah.
You're talking about the scene with the
back
jet
in Chicago,
dusting the freak out.
That jet is not a photo.
Yeah, oh no, that's drawn. But
that is a series of lines.
I love the use of this here. He's done it before, like when Malcolm went to the airport or whatever. So actually, I think like Larsen makes good use of it. But yeah, man, kind of an iconic moment. Like here's Chicago, been just decimated by freaks since when we started. Like that cheat. And
19 Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah, like 28 years of Chicago being like just decimated by freaks, and boom, dude, freak out. Like no more freaks.
I feel like, all right, this is gonna sound really dumb. I feel like, how do I even phrase this? You know what chemtrails are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That conspiracy theory. This is literal chemtrails. I feel like that would have a very large psychological effect on people. To get gassed, even if you're a normal person, you don't know what the fuck you're breathing in.
True.
What if you had a
a
secret mutation that you didn't know about that was keeping you alive?
That was always the argument for why not to do it, is they didn't know how it would affect everyone.
Well, I mean, we'll see that in a couple of pages going forward.
Like I remember during
it caused the death of a certain character.
During the Vanguard backups, Rock temporarily lost his powers and he had a freaking heart attack.
Yeah.
As a result.
And that has always been the excuse, kind of, in the pages of Savage Dragon against, making people normal.
Because somebody might die, I mean, think about like the guy with fucking horns for eyes. He got lucky. That when he got gassed, like something wacky with his eyes didn't happen. Like he wouldn't have fucking eye stems hanging off his face or something.
But I also think it just proves a point. I mean, I think like what try to do a dragon, and even what Dart kind of said in a couple of panels before is kind of like the country's in the hands of bumbling inept lunatics. So, we're at a point where kind of like just that kind of reasoning is out the door.
You're right. Trump would totally authorize chemtrails to own the libs.
I'm just saying it's.
I mean, in a comic book setting, yes, I think that's what it's implying is that.
Yeah.
We've got to do this to keep the aliens out and the freaks out and make America great again.
Yeah. It ties right into the narrative is what's so funny. Like, what's funny is it's not even like social commentary. It literally just fits what's happening in the comic.
I love the coloring of these kind of chemtrail, green, bubbly, cool. I love the panels of the worm ring. It's like all those different guys, whatever. It's, I don't know, worm eyes, worm, whatever, ears.
Like a fluke man.
They all have names. What is it? It's Leaping Larry, but then it's worm arms, worm ears, worm eyes, and worm hole.
Are these? Is this Uglies Incorporated?
No, this is the worm ring.
The worm ring. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize they were a little crew.
Yeah,
they got a gang. They got depowered though. Confirmed, just a bunch of losers now. And then what's funny is to just follow that moment up, that pivotal moment with kind of another bombshell, just bombshell after bombshell. That's what makes 248 like a barn burner, dude. It's just bombshell after bombshell. Like, it would have been enough to see Chicago de-freaked, like depowered, like with a huge problem plaguing the city for the entire 28 years of the book, just removed in a few panels. And then we, like, the very next page opposite, a character.
But it's even more than that. This whole issue, you go from, all the VC guys getting busted out, which is a major thing. Like, oh wow, you get to see all these guys again. You get to see, Angel come back from being paralyzed.
Right.
You get to see, the Mark and Peter and Janie as superheroes now for the first time.
Huge cast member upgrade, in my opinion.
It's like every 2 pages is something major.
Yes, dude. Like, yes. This was a hell of an issue to come back. Like, after the gap, like, holy shit, dude. And you didn't even list everything. I know, like, you left off the huge.
There's more.
Yeah, like, because we're not there, but you didn't even list everything, and it's just so much in this issue, dude. But
this page is huge.
Yes.
the marriage proposal.
And she says yes, dude.
So it's a good thing that Angel has all memories from all realities. Because think about it. Frank says he's loved her since they were kids. This Angel wasn't around when they were kids. It was the other Angel.
Hey, it's the beauty of the all memories thing. It ties that up. You don't have to worry about it. I said that was a fucking genius solution.
Yeah,
that was a genius solution to that problem, Jim. Is literally everyone has everyone's memories, so she knows that he's not lying. Because she has memories of him being around her when she wasn't actually around him. I know it's confusing. New listeners, there was a multiverse storyline that basically fixed things in a beautiful way. Normally retcons like Crisis on Infinite Earth go and they try to cut away continuity.
They remove memories.
Right. They try to remove things and make it so that things never happened. And then when they're done, they'll present you with, okay, this is the truth going forward. Erik had a different solution. What he did is he just basically merged everything and said, okay, everything counts.
Right. Well, the problem was he had multiple characters from different realities.
Right.
And so it helps to kind of keep that together.
It just makes it simple. But I'm just saying it was a clever retcon that, as opposed to what is traditionally done in comics where you remove continuity, he just basically said, all continuity counts. Don't worry about it. Savage World, past, if something happened in the old Image universe and now we're in the new universe, don't worry about it. It all happened. Every memory matters. Everyone remembers everything. And I was like, oh, dude, that is actually genius because you don't have to worry about keeping track of anything now. if Frank says I've loved you since we were kids, but this isn't actually the Angel he grew up around with, doesn't matter, because she knows that he's telling the truth because she remembers.
A couple of things I love about this page are simple things that I feel like are it's easy to overlook, but really great cartooning and stuff is just the effort to put in all like that ceiling type decoration tile.
Yeah.
When Frank and Angel are talking, which is a nice touch. And you got John Day between them. That's kind of funny. I just noticed that. The other thing I like is just the different shots and angles. Like, Eric's a master at this. I love the panel where, like, you're looking between the two people at the bar, and you can, you're looking between them. The one guy's got a little martini in his hand.
Right.
Just the way that Erik thinks to, like, jump around. It's just master cartooning to give you different takes on the same scene and mix it up. And then, of course, the touch of Angel turning back into almost like a little girl when she gets proposed to.
Yeah, dude.
Like that, almost like that innocence feeling.
Yeah, dude.
Like the shock. I don't know.
It's good. No, that's exactly what it is. Like again, he's like, I loved you since we were kids. And he's like, when she gets proposed to, like, boom, there's like child Angel. It's like, ooh.
Oh, yeah. The panel with her basically going into cartoon Angel, which we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, was never this Angel's deal. That was always Angel Dragon's thing, not Angel Murphy's thing. Because when Angel Murphy came back from, although I guess she was a little, no, she wasn't. She didn't have doll eyes. I don't think she ever had doll eyes. Not really. I think that was like the distinction between them until they got older.
But you know what? Doesn't matter.
No matter.
Doesn't matter. Everything's good. Look, there you. I'm gonna agree with you. I think it is like a masterful sequence. Like here we have just like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 panels, and yet like like you said, the ceiling tiles, the martini. Like they're in a nice restaurant. It's sold to you there. He took her to a nice restaurant to propose.
Yeah, it's just it tells you a lot on a page where I think a lot of artists or cartoonists just, I don't know, they wouldn't approach it the same way and it wouldn't have as much power. When you sit there and soak it in and look at it, it's like there's a lot of thought put into it.
Dude, this issue is masterclass. Not just for the amount of stuff that's happening, but like when you flip, it's like how much he accomplishes like in a single page. Yeah. Like, because, again, look at this sequence here. We got Chicago getting defreaked. We got the wedding proposal. You flip it. Fucking Dung's dead, and the kids are making a break to Chicago. I'm just saying, holy shit, dude. So much in a single page. It's good, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the whole, like, the kids are driving towards, the border to Canada.
Right.
I love that. I hope Dad got out okay. And it's just kind of like that silent panel of, like, just the blood kind of oozing out of the gun. So he got freaked out, turned back to human, and bled out.
Dude, it's sad. And, like, again, just the masterful use of cartooning there. Just like you said, the silent panel. Like, he's just there, dude. Oh, it's good.
Yeah. So, why do you think he died?
Erik explained on Facebook. Did you see?
I guess I didn't see his official explanation. I have my assumption.
Let's hear your assumption before we hear the truth.
My assumption was because of the way his suit operates, because if I'm reading his powers correctly, he transports feces from all over the world into his high-pressured suit of armor. So without the access to the shit, the pressurization basically sucked all of his organs out of him.
What Erik said on Facebook page is that he had severed hands and somehow got changed. That's how he explained it. So when he got changed back to human, his severed hands bled out.
Okay. Oh, weird. Okay.
It is weird. That was basically the explanation.
I mean, maybe if, like, whenever he mutated, he, like, lost his hands, and then, like, when he turned back into human, they, like, grew back out, but because he had all these fucking nozzles, they just ripped his hands apart.
Who knows?
And then he bled out. I just thought it sucked all of his organs out of his asshole. But, Erik's the boss.
I like them both. I feel sad for Dung being dead. I think he's an awesome character, but I wanted to say I think it is incredibly awesome. If you guys think about it, really, we got to see closure here on so many classic Vicious Circle characters. Like, we got to see them be old men, and we got to see them fucking die. We got to see, like, the end of their story. Mako, Skullface, Dung here. And it's just crazy because if you think about it, like, you'll never get to read the final Joker story. You'll never get to read the end of, like, Two-Face. But, man, dude, you read this book, you see where these characters end up.
Yeah, it's cool. And you get to see them age, which is cool.
Yeah. Who would have thought Dung would have made it to gray and old and have daughters? And I don't know. It's fucking nuts, dude. I love it.
I knew that one day he was going to have poo daughters.
You did not know. You lie. You did not know.
Also, another thing, this page, another argument for the poo kids to wear clothes. It's like, how do they drive in the car with these guys? Like, just going to take a long trip from Chicago to Toronto with just giant shitlords in the back seat. Oh, it's got to reek.
We also, this is the first confirmation that Waylon doesn't have powers. We were speculating the whole time. We were like, well, what's it, because again, every other character is almost a parallel to a previous Vicious Circle character. But then the whole time we just saw this kid in a toboggan, and we knew that he was like Octopus's somehow child or something.
Yeah, Erik kept faking us out by making him wear like the trench coats, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember right. Like,
well, you kept thinking, man, maybe he's got the, like, Octopus is, like, up under his coat or something like that. Here, he confirms, dude, I'm just a normal dude. I don't even have power. He's just a normal guy.
Yeah, then Open Face Jr. says that all changes in Toronto, Waylon. You can finally fulfill your destiny and become one of us. So I'm not sure what that means, but...
One of us.
How do they activate his powers?
I gotta say, you get to see Dumpling and Blossom, like, teasing more about, like, Jimmy. I'm a dumbass. I didn't realize that Cutthroat's kid was Jimmy. So
I'm pretty sure.
I feel real sad for them. Like, I don't know. These are sympathetic characters for me for some reason. I know they're comedic, but, like, I feel bad for them because their lives have to be a goddamn nightmare. Everyone has to hate them. They'll never know love, dude. They're shit monsters. And, like, yeah, clearly they have emotions and they clearly want these things.
And they also can live beyond Dung's lifespan. So
yeah,
he doesn't need to be alive for them to be animated.
He doesn't need to be alive.
They have souls.
Yeah. I'm telling you, dude, it makes me sad. Like, I'm sad for these characters that are probably you're not meant to be, but I feel sad for them, dude.
They're definitely tragic humans. Like, not, well, I don't know if they're humans.
That's the thing. I don't even know if Freak Out would work on them if they weren't human to begin with.
I have a question. I'm not.
If they get sprayed with Freak Out, they just turn into like a dog turd.
I'm not even joking when I ask this. Do you think they could, like, cover themselves with, like, fucking dirt and become, like, Swamp Thing or something? Like, just grow flowers all over?
They're just giant fertilizer.
I mean,
yeah,
that makes sense.
I'm just saying, there might be hope for them. They might become...
There's just got to be, like, hundreds of flies crawling all over them.
Yeah, dude, wretched. I'm saying to be in a vehicle with these goddamn mutants, ugh.
And they're just covering everything in shit.
Yeah.
They just touch everything. Just shit everywhere.
Like you said,
And these guys are just driving like it's no problem.
Can you imagine the fucking flies like all the time? Like, it'd be a nightmare to even be around them, dude.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They're fucking great. I love those characters. And I love this action scene, dude. I love Malcolm and his bros kicking ass together. Immediately. I didn't think we'd get to see it this issue, and bam, here it is, immediately.
They seem to be fighting furry animal mutants. Like the kind that,
Gene Tech.
Spider-Man going big.
Yeah, fair point. But yeah, I was thinking more where Buffalo Stew came from.
Gotcha, yeah.
Which I thought are they a Canadian thing, or are they from Chicago? Because
Gene Tech?
No, Gene Tech's in Toronto, right?
Yeah, Gene Tech's Toronto.
Right. Oh, right. That was Scourge's company. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, all these animals that are running around, Mauve Wolfman, all of that, that's Gene Tech.
And We get a fun little conversation about fucking Maxine. Because that's what everyone's into these days.
Hey, dude, the Janies weren't scared. All the dudes froze up.
Hey, some of us just aren't into multiple people.
Can you imagine...
Intimacy. That's what's important.
I'm just saying, can you imagine, like, Maxine, a normal human, what a goddamn bizarre, like, orgy. Like, you've got two of the same identical person. Just like, what the hell? I don't know. Anyway.
That shoot webs out of their vagina.
Yeah, and you gotta imagine that's gonna come into play somehow. Like, they make a swing. Like, you know what I'm saying.
Well, they seem to love putting it in Malcolm's eyes.
Yes, dude. Squid. That's what I'm saying. And I think it's funny, like, little maturity here on Malcolm. What the fuck? Malcolm. Maturity on Malcolm. And again, this is, you'll see, I'll bring this up at the end. Like, talk about character growth. Malcolm's not into it. Like, he's like, I don't know if Maxine was serious, but guys, I don't want to roll around with any of you. And so it's like, oh, damn, dude. So, like, you know, it goes to show you. They're like, Malcolm's not, like, just, hell yeah, dude, let's all just fuck. Like, he's not, like, whatever. Like, he's like, no, dudes, like, no, I don't want to fuck you, Janies, and you guys, like, no. Crusader and Destroyer, get your dinglings out of here. I think this is a sinister sequence.
It is terrifying.
It is terrifying. I love how Erik sells this sequence.
It's
dude.
almost like that Twilight.
Tell us what sequence.
No, let me describe what it's like, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that Twilight episode with the kid.
Yeah.
Sending people to the. It's like she's like threatening to kill her mom with her lightning powers. Like she almost knows what she's doing.
Yeah, that's what sells it. So, Maddie, for the listener, we're talking about the 6-panel page. Again, Erik in this issue, just an entire page as a scene, and then he moves on. So good. And Maddie is basically the youngest dragon child, and she's got lightning powers, and she can't control them well. It's why Maxine wanted the freak out, and it's why she was terrified. And here comes Maddie with green eggs and ham, basically forcing Maxine to read this book to her. And Maxine's fucking so scared she's gonna get electrocuted and die that she's like fucking crying reading this book. Dude, it's a creepy scene.
Yeah, it's chilling.
It is. So good that Jim left. He's out of here, dude. Fucking gone. He had to get the hell out of here. I just think it's creepy. I think he does a lot with very little in this sequence, and I think it's cool as shit.
I love that the first panel, the mood it sets with the blue and the lightning kind of shock.
Yeah, and she's like lit from beneath, which is always a creepy angle.
Where the heck is Greta, though? Isn't that like her job to be here?
What's funny,
well,
Jim,
she's got 3 other super
but
beings to do.
They're less likely to kill people by accident.
You don't know, dude. You don't know if that's a plot point or if that's just she was just taking care of the other kids at the time. You don't know. Where is Greta? Why wasn't she watching The Most Dangerous Kid? Who knows? We'll see. It's good, dude. I'm so upset.
Or we won't see.
Meanwhile, at the border
probably
crossing.
never will. Craig, did you say that this was the hardest to draw page?
That's what Erik posted.
Well, it's very obviously why. Guy hates drawing cars.
Yeah, but these cars look fine.
Yeah, they look fine.
Yeah,
they probably took
great.
absolutely forever to look as fine as they do.
And I love perspective. Like that perspective shot on the border crossing.
Yeah.
Very good, dude. And I love like the jaggedy wavy lines on the like bus of vicious circle people in like panel 2. Like it really sells the motion of that bus.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so cool.
Just ripping through the cop cars after that.
And we get to see Vane, who's always fun to see.
Vane is a great design. I love that mask. That mask is a cool design.
Do you think she has a brother that has like the same powers, but it like he uses his dingling and calls himself the main Vane? I'm just kidding. Chaos and Control.
You're really not.
I know. I wish. And that's my hope. Chaos and Control in that final panel, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah, and Volcanic there.
I love to see
and
those
Samurai
guys.
behind him and a bunch of other guys.
So good, dude. I love that. And then here we are.
Don't know whose feet those are.
You said you don't know?
Don't know. It looks almost like Hercules, but of course it's not.
We're going to get roasted. We're going to get torn to shreds in the comments.
I love Volcanic barfing lava on people.
Yes,
That's a classic Inferno move.
Mm-hmm.
No, Volcanic, right?
No, remember way back in the early Dragon, there was Inferno who would do that?
Yeah.
Breathe fire on...
Well, his daughter is part of the Vicious Circle.
Right. That's not who this is, though. This is... Or unless it is.
You
Are there two fiery volcanic babes? Because she wasn't the one on the very first page, right? That's a different character.
First? No, it's the same.
Oh.
Volcanic.
Oh, my
Yeah,
mistake.
it's got to be the same.
Yeah, then she's not one of the lava people.
She is.
Yeah, she's one of them.
I thought she was the daughter of Inferno.
No.
No, the daughter of Inferno is in the car with the other.
Right, but
Vicious
she
Circle.
sort of looks the same way. She catches fire and has like...
No,
She looks different, dude.
She looks big time different.
Yeah.
Like Inferno and his daughter just kind of turn like molten color.
Right.
Yeah, they have like Kirby Crackle almost.
Volcanic looks like a volcano. It's all rocky.
Yeah, like that's rock texture.
I see.
Think about the hospital scene when Inferno first shows up. It's like,
Right.
fry. You know,
Oh,
he's got like
yeah,
the Kirby Crackle in him.
Yeah, you're right. I guess that is different, significantly.
I knew I could paint a word picture for you.
But I knew he breathed fire.
I don't think.
I think he
breathes
shoots
fire.
it out of his
I
hands,
honestly
doesn't
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he breathes it.
No.
Volcanic is always shown kind of throwing up molten lava on people.
Right. Agreed. Big stinger, big closing action. You might not think it is so, but I think it is so. So, pop quiz, do you know what I'm about to say? What is the significance of this final page?
The 100 cops dead.
Nope. Jim?
Malcolm losing his neck in panel 3.
Nope. There's a beautiful character arc. There's beautiful growth that happens here. And if you blink, bing, you miss it.
Oh, is it Maxine getting over hang-ups after
That's
this
right.
stuff
That's
with Basilisk?
She has to be drunk to have intimacy as recently as even the beginning of this issue on the small fin sequence where the Janies and Crusader and Destroyer, Mark and Peter, kick in through the window. She's still drunk, like to have intimacy.
Right.
But then, here we go. She's like, well, dude, you know, you got to go and fight this army. Shit, I might not see you again. She's stone sober. And they're like, well, you know what I'm thinking? Yup. And so they take off to have a sober, intimate moment.
I gotta wonder if this might have to do with the Maddie situation.
I mean, hey, you got to think. Like, again, remember, Maxine has seen hell. She's terrified. She knows what it could mean, like, to die. Like, she got to live for this moment. She's seen heaven. She's seen hell. So, like, mortality. This is a chick that has mortality on her mind, right? And she's like, damn, I might never see Malcolm again. And so, this is growth, dude. I'm telling you, it's subtle. People, like, I read comments. I'm going to shit on some folks here. I'm sorry. I don't care. Like, I saw people like, oh, I hate having Maxine's sexuality thrown in our face. And I'm like, you know what? Guys,
Why do you sound like Arachnid from the cartoon?
I can't stand Maxine's sexuality in my face. But, you know what, guys? There's a plot. There's a story arc happening here, okay? There's a character arc, if you will. And Maxine has been on a hell of a journey. And I think that this is subtle storytelling that is important. And I think it's cool that, again, it wasn't like a big, like, this could have been hammy. In any other, in a corporate comic, there would have been a long sequence of, like, Maxine staring in the mirror and taking a drink and, oh, I'm fighting with my inner demons. Instead, you just get nice, one-page, subtle story development plot. It's just moving along. And this is growth. Maxine no longer needs alcohol as of this page to have an intimate moment with her husband, and god damn it, that's awesome development for a sexual violence survivor. So I think it's cool. I think it's a nice little pin in that saga. And hey man, I'm hoping that Maxine's journey of healing is at an end. I'm hoping we just have Maxine mentally healthy and feeling good now. Because it's been what, like a year? And she has a therapist.
Probably about that. Yeah, it's weird with this real-time stuff when like books get delayed.
Yeah.
How it still works.
Yeah. But I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. I think that was a nice little end. Like, again, so many things happened in this issue. Dung died. The entire villain cast that was just stuck in Chicago all these years moved up to Chicago.
Try that again, Raven.
Oops, moved up to Chicago. Sorry, this map was upside down in my apartment. Hold on. Moved up to Canada. Yeah, like Dung died. Like the villains, rogues gallery moved to Canada. You know, Maxine got over her like need for alcohol to have sexual intimacy. We got long-standing, like Malcolm-related characters made their debut as superheroes, like you said, Craig, in the modern era. Like, goddamn, dude, this Chicago got its freak population wiped out. Like, whenever anybody, because I would see those comments, people would be like, wonder what's happening in Chicago. Who's watching over Chicago? And I'm just like, god damn, this book is in Toronto now. Stop. Like, we don't give a fuck about Chicago no more. And you really officially have no reason to care about Chicago anymore. And so I'm just saying, dude, so much happened in this book. It was fucking so crazy. 248 was nuts. It was nuts, dude. This was fucking balls out.
It was a really good issue. I think, like you said, it's a great coming back issue.
It is.
Get us back, get the juices flowing, get us back in the mood as we head into 250. I'm seeing all the ducks lined up.
I'm going to go ahead and dub this one the meatiest potatoes. It was very good.
Yeah.
Shout-outs to Andrew Dietremont for shouting out the FINcast in his letter in the letters page.
Awesome.
Always appreciated. And also in the letters page, fun to see Erik address the Todd McFarlane 300 debacle in print. I love the letters page as always a time capsule of where folks are in time. Some of our fin heads on the Facebook forum said, and I agree, that this is a lovely pre-COVID-19 snapshot of like where everyone was, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool letters page. Do read them. They do matter. They do add to your reading. I think it's awesome. Thank you, everyone, for still writing letters.
I actually shot off a missive based on this issue because I was so moved by it. I don't do enough letters. I feel like because we talk about it so much on the FINcast that I say everything basically to you guys.
Right.
But I'm trying to make more of an effort to send a letter in because I love the letters pages.
Yeah.
Actually, for a while, I mean, I think we've definitely talked about this in the past, that one letters page that was blank.
Yeah.
Which it was a long time ago, but it was like shocking.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that there's, you know, a ton of letters every issue now.
And I think
I feel like people have come back around, and it's great.
I think it's so cool too. Like they're all over the world. Like you got someone from France, someone from Halifax, you know, someone from Philly. Like, you know, so many awesome. I don't know.
Yeah.
People put where you're from. I think it's awesome. I like it.
Yep.
Dudes, this G-Man.
So good.
I love it.
Too bad that evaporation stuff isn't real.
Yes, dude. Big Towel. Big Towel is hilarious. Just, oh my God, so funny.
Chris Giarrusso writes some funny strips, I gotta tell you. I like this, and I like the Tales of the Comic-Con, or whatever it's called, strips.
Yeah.
Are just, they're good stuff. Like, he's a legit funny dude.
he's a comedy master, and what's funny is has always delivered. Like, he's been delivering consistently for so long. Like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Good stuff. I like the coloring too, that he like just uses all the 4 panels is a different color.
Yeah, just knockouts.
Like, I mean, back in the day with the G-Man comics, I mean, they really focused a lot on like the tighter art, and I kind of like this kind of quicker, kind of messier art that he does with these web comics.
I like the narrative conceit that these are drawn by G-Man, which is why they look that way.
Yeah, all the panels are kind of wavy.
It's good stuff, dude.
Talking about strips, here's another. This is, some of the more recent strips. These G-Man web. I mean, they're actually republished webcomic strips.
Right.
So.
But they are very good, and they are always welcome.
Oh yeah. That is a thing I always love to see.
So we get some proper dongage in the funnies.
We do, dude.
If only we can get some proper dongage in the main feature, but baby steps, I suppose.
I know if you had your way, Crusader and Destroyer would have just flopped under the window.
Mm-hmm.
I like this artist from Draw Brandon Draw. He's good.
Yeah, dude. Draw Brandon Draw and all of these fucking Berkeley Muse. These are all fucking hilarious.
Yeah, this was a good issue for the funnies.
The Eat More Bikes strip is really funny to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's really funny for reasons that don't make any real sense. Did both of you guys see Spider-Verse?
No.
What the movie?
The CGI Spider-Verse movie, yeah.
Yeah.
So the main message of that movie was anyone can be Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And all the spider people in that movie all had dead people in their lives. And that's why they were spider people. So I thought, if anyone can be Spider-Man, that means there'll be an uptick in dead relatives very soon.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to take the initiative, like Flat Top here.
Got a nice little splash page. A pinup.
You're possibly responsible for this, right, Raven?
Nope, not me. Andrew,
Well, I know you didn't draw it, but you weren't the one who got her wise to dragon.
Oh, you talking about the back or the?
Right. Okay, not this. Right. Sorry, I forgot there was another pinup.
No, I'm talking. This is just. It looks like someone who also thought that Scourge was going to be a major villain.
Yes, dude. Here's Scourge, and what's funny is as I looked at this, I was like, "Oh, this is so badass! What a shame." Erik colored this, by the way.
That's cool, man. Imagine sending in a piece and Erik colors it and prints it for you. How cool.
Unbelievable. I mean, like, fucking crazy. I like it. I love this. Guys, we do this. You have to award a winner from Eat More Bikes, Draw Brandon Draw, or Berkeley Muse. And they're all winners, but I'm saying somebody won more than someone else. Who's the winner? This is hard. This is why I want to do this, because it's hard of these three, which one is number one.
Really? It's hard?
Hard like a Johnson twin. Go ahead.
I don't know. I think the guy who's screaming with his eyes, being hearts, is the obvious standout here.
Really?
Yeah. It's like...
I like them all. I kind of like the Eat More Bikes one.
I like Eat More Bikes is the best. But, I mean, they're not any of them worse. Wait a minute, Jim. Do you just like the Dung?
No, I like the screaming existential crisis of the common cartoon gag being turned into a massive medical condition.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is a very clever twist of fate. And the screaming last panel seals it.
In my mind, that's just her power manifesting itself.
Honestly, I feel like all these strips could be like the best strip if put in other issues.
Oh yeah,
like they're all really good.
Fantastic, totally agree. And then to close it off, my homegirl. This is what Jim was thinking of. My homegirl Giselle Legacy. I said it wrong. Giselle Legacy, Canada's premier cartoonist. Jokes aside, she's the fucking dynamo powerhouse, like total ass kicker. And it's cool because she's also doing Exorcisters at Image Comics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right now. So if you like this pinup of Angel, and you're an Image Comics buying guy anyway because you're buying Savage Dragon, give Exorcisters a check out. I like it a lot. I think it's cool.
This is a great pinup.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just very good looking Angel. And I love the little touch with like the Toronto skyline.
Dude, Jiz is a fucking pro. She's been doing comics for a long time. Like,
yeah, it's definitely pro caliber. When you see it, you know.
She's got a 20-year career or more herself behind her. And goddamn, she's done like so many books. Like, I've got like literally a box full of books just by her. It's insane, dude. So yeah, she's a
what books is she like most known for?
Giselle started like a network called the Pixie Tricks Comics like network, and Menage a 3 was probably what a lot of people would know her from. But Pixie Tricks is like just a bunch of things. Eerie Cuties. Right now, like, my mind is blanking because you put me on the spot. But Dilly Sticky Buns, like, Udon is publishing Dilly Sticky Buns and Menage a 3 collections. Like, you know Udon, if you read comics, like, that's a publishing company that's been in comics a long time. But, yeah, a ton, dude. I mean, like, so many that it's hard to remember them all. Like, she has done so much, and yeah, again, if you like this pinup, she loves Dragon too. And what's cool is that she actually got into Dragon. I didn't directly harass her. She got into Dragon completely on her own, just because of like social media, like all the like me constantly sharing like posts from the Facebook group or the Savage FINcast or whatever. Like that, like she saw me talking about it enough that she's like, well, this has got to be good. I'll give it a shot. And she fucking read it on her own and loved it, dude.
That's awesome.
Yes. And I told her, I said, Jiz, I said, you're such an awesome artist. I said, if you do a pinup, I said, I know Erik would like love to like feature it, I'm sure. And she sent it to me. He's like, oh, kick ass. Okay, I'll use it. And she was fucking like hyped. Mr. Glum's her favorite character, and nobody spoil it, but like she doesn't know. She doesn't know what happens, so keep that a secret if you see her. But yeah, she's like, oh, I love Mr. Glum. He's so cool. He's so awesome. I love him. I was like, oh my. So yeah, so good, dude. Thank you, Jiz, for an awesome, like putting a cap on an awesome issue. Like, holy shit, dude, it's 248. It's like a 15 out of 10. Like, that was so good, dude.
Good stuff. Absolutely.
Incredible. I guess we're gonna roll right into a little dessert, a tasty treat to go with our meat and potatoes. Urban Legends TMNT, little Turtle Power.
So this is a pretty cool issue. Just we're not going to dwell super long on this. Episode's going a little long already, but we'll get into the important, relevant bits. The main thing is, this issue's got big presence of SOS in it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Of a very particular era. During, like, back during, I think when Rock was leading the team, even.
Yeah, Rock's the leader. And he says Dragon's dead and presumed missing, so...
Yeah, so Dragon's probably on Godland at this point.
Yeah, having his space adventures after Dark World blew up. But the general premise is Donatello's been picked up by these men in black. Turns out they work for the government, and they've brought them to the SOS to figure out what his deal is. And we've got Drock and Kid Avenger and the Shrew, who are all members at the time. They're all they check out Donatello's flying car, which has got alien origins, so they think Don might be an alien.
Right.
Don's trying to come up with references, but apparently no one's got the phone number for the Night Watchman.
Yeah. Dragon's gone. Nobody can get in touch with Night Watchman.
And Don makes a little mistake by basically saying, I could walk out of here anytime I wanted. And Kid Avenger overreacts and attacks him, calling it a jailbreak. We get into a very, very brief fight until Hortus shows up. And Hortus knows the Turtle Boys, so she vouches for him, and then that defuses this situation.
Right.
It's pretty cool just to see these guys in action, to see Fosco drawing them.
Loved it, dude. Loved it.
Yeah, I love Rock in that costume.
Yeah.
That's a great costume for him. And seeing it colored is great, too.
Frank killed on this, like, all these dragon guys, like, Frank killed on this sequence so much, dude. I loved it.
It is unfortunate he needed to use an arrow to tell us which way to go.
Yeah, what was that?
Well, sometimes when you're reading, when your word balloons are unhelpful, you have to put an arrow in to direct the eye. It's very clumsy, but sometimes you don't have a choice.
Not to get in the weeds, we got to be tight here, I know, but did you see that goddamn Arrow Fest in Ludocrats?
Actually, no. I guess I blanked over it.
Maybe it wasn't Ludocrats. I read a comic this weekend that had the arrows going. Oh no, it wasn't Ludocrats. Okay, I won't say what it is, but
yeah, it's definitely not Ludocrats.
No, it wasn't Ludocrats. I won't say what it is because I don't want to put people on blast. But like, dude,
no, but you just said Ludocrats. I think you were ready.
Yeah, I was ready to blast Ludocrats. No. There was something else. I read a comic that the arrows went all the way down the left side, then shot back up to the right top corner, then back down to the lower right corner. Yeah, dude, it was nuts.
I mean, that's still not the worst I've ever seen, but damn, that's not good. That is, you really should have rethought those layouts way earlier than this.
That shit was bananas. I couldn't believe arrows in every panel, dude. I was like, whoa.
No,
and it's kind of funny here in this because it's like pointing at Hortus's butthole.
Yeah, if this was published today, you would see something there in that black void.
It's funny. That's all I'm saying. The arrow pointing at her butthole. Clack, clack. All right, I stopped you. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Well, there's nothing else. I mean, what else is there to say? Following up from the end of our last issue, last story, Eric, Casey Jones is taking credit for killing all the Komodo dragons in the sewers, trying to collect the
10K.
Yeah, the what's the word I'm looking for? The
reward.
The reward bounty on them. But unfortunately, he had to skip out of work to do this, and he's been fired by his boss over the phone. April took the phone call. Because he was seen on television. Basically, it blew his alibi, and got terminated from his job.
Called in sick to hunt gators in the sewers.
Then Raph shows up dressed as the Shredder, has a little heart-to-heart.
That's a great scene.
It is great.
Like
it's especially great with like how Splinter handles Shadow getting her out of the room without knowing he's there, because he's a real ninja. That Splinter. He's the proest.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the tension between Splinter and Raph, and how basically, Raph's jealous of Leo as well, and brings him into the conversation. It's a great scene.
Yeah, Gary, man, that Gary can write a fucking comic. I'm telling you, characterization out the wazoo just in that brief interaction.
Yeah, Splinter doesn't believe the Foot can be reformed, and he does not like his son being the leader of them. So they got some animosity brewing there. We get some more stuff with Leatherhead and the turtles down in the turtle lair. Leo's lost his hand. He's not feeling great about that. It's kind of a big deal, actually. It feels almost like it was understated when it happened.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So it turns out... Hold on a second. All right, so Leatherhead has a Utrom friend who's one of those brains like Krang. Well, they're kind of like Krang's. Krang's not really a Utrom because he's they never really used that concept in the cartoon.
Right.
He's just a brain in the. What?
It's obvious he's based.
He's based on it, yeah. But the Utrons are basically they're not an evil alien race. They're just kind of like elitist assholes at worst.
Yeah.
But this one's friends with Leatherhead, and Leatherhead has been helping him rebuild this teleporter so that he can go home.
Transmat device.
Well, this ties all into early Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, this goes way back. This is stuff that's been going on since the earliest issues.
This Dr. X Utrom was left behind,
in fact,
from like a battle from like issue 4
the
of Ninja
the
Turtles.
Utrom technology is actually directly responsible for the turtles' mutation.
Yeah, they made the mutagen.
Right. So they built this teleporter, and it accidentally activates and sends Leonardo across the galaxy.
No,
it ain't an accident.
It doesn't accident.
Oh, right, it's a
not
test.
An
Yeah.
Because Dr. X is kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
He's like, why would I test it on us?
And he's like, I can't test it on Leatherhead and me. And he's
That-
like, oh, you're a dick, dude.
That's right. He kind of tricks Leo into getting on the platform and just turns it on.
You
But
know
then-
what Gary should have had him say? Gary should have had him say, dude, you might look like a brain, but you're a dick.
And so when they turn it back on to bring him back,
He just ignores him.
yeah, it was really bad, Raven. I want to make sure you knew that. They turn it back on, and Leo is in a fist fight with a Triceraton,
Yeah, dude.
which is one of the other alien races, one of the 3-horned Triceratops-looking bastards.
And they're cool. They're like,
They're awesome.
Everything is for the Triceraton Republic.
Yeah,
dude.
they are a very warlike race.
Yeah.
Very anti-alien, very tough. Each one is pretty powerful on their own.
Yeah.
So this one's come through the teleporter, and he immediately tries to kill everyone around him to take control of the transmat.
I like this bastard claims the whole planet. This whole planet is mine. And for the Triceraton Empire. I'm like, oh man, dude.
Right. It's much of a continuation again from those early Ninja Turtle stories.
Yeah.
Mikey managed to turns his own gun on him, and it does manage to put him down. Unfortunately, during the fight, the other Triceratons from across the galaxy have managed to lock into the signal of the transmat, and the entire squad has now teleported into the sewer.
Yep.
And now the odds are just so such that the turtles don't even have a chance to stop them.
Can I just say I'm enjoying the coloring on this?
Yes.
The purples and the bright flashes and stuff. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah, dude. Absolutely top notch.
So Leo does the one thing that he can do, which is destroy the transmat, so at least more can't come through.
Right. And then him and Mikey bolt.
I love that triangular gun. It's neat.
It's awesome.
It's always weird to see the turtles using guns because they don't really like using them, but they're not above using them.
Right.
Because they're ninja.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're fighting a fucking giant Triceraton, man, you're going to whip out a gun on him.
Apparently, Triceratons can't swim.
Yeah, it's awesome. They just sink like big dumb dinosaurs.
Well, they can't breathe. It needs said, too. You see them sort of, like, struggle to breathe. They can't breathe our atmosphere long. And so that's why this guy, as soon as he gets underwater, like, immediately fucking chokes. Like, if you notice where the one is coughing, and again, it was always that way. Like you said, Craig, this is very much early Ninja Turtles. And so these dudes, they're okay for a minute, but yeah, he gets in the water, it's just like, whoop.
And actually, it actually looks like his superior officer pushed him in. Because if you look at the panel there where he falls in the water, his officer has got his hand up, like he pushed him.
Yep.
Oh yeah, after them.
Glug.
Which seems like a waste of men if you know you can't swim. So yeah, they're going to try and repair the transmat so that they can create basically a beachhead to take over the planet.
Right.
And so they've got a portable ones, which they use to lock onto alien technology, where they assume the Uton is gone. But it turns out he's locked onto Donatello's suit, and so one of the soldiers.
It's even cooler, dude. It's a homing beacon from the guy that they got the car from.
Yeah, Zog.
Oh,
Zog.
right, the car came from Zog. Right.
They're getting a distress signal from the car. And they're like, Zog, fuck, he's been dead a long time ago. They're like,
Which he appears last, like, almost dead in the Return to New York storyline from Ninja Turtles, which was, like, issue, I think it was 19, 20, and 21. And I remember that because I think issue 21 was my first real exposure to, like, adult Ninja Turtles or original Ninja Turtles. It was like 89 or 90, I think. And I love that comic so freaking much. And it's still so awesome. That whole 3-part series is such a high point. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but it's freaking
I have
great.
not read the early Turtles as much as I really should have. I definitely have not read the Return to New York storyline.
I didn't read them. I don't think Returning to New York. I did read the whole Triceraton like origin with like, you know, the fucking brains and everything, where they tell the turtles, "Hey, you're from us," and you see them choking. And I think I read the turtles going to the Triceraton homeworld and fighting in an arena.
Yep, that's early, and then the Return to New York, like that Zog guy got left behind too, and he kind of like is still half alive in the sewer. But it's that 3-part series is pretty brutal and pretty really awesome, and like very ninja-y and stuff. If that's a word.
Ninja-y, I love it.
So this issue ends with Hortus coming back to New York with Donatello in the air car. Hortus is flirting terribly with anything in sight, but the Triceraton, who was teleported away to the homing beacon, has materialized on top of the air car. And so next issue, we'll find out what happens to that. It probably won't end well.
Pretty dope, man. I gotta say, as a Dragon fan, I loved it. I loved all of the, you know, obvious SOS cameos. But then what was sweet is that as a Turtle fan, it really, you know, we touched on it time and again, but like it really worked those early Turtles into this so well. So yeah, man, this really worked for me on like both levels. Like as a Dragon fan and a Turtle fan, I was in fucking heaven.
It was a good issue. Definitely was.
I love it. I love that I have come full circle. Like, I was kind of like I was like, whatever. I can't wait to see the dragon parts, and that'll be cool. And, dude, they got me. They fucking got me. I'm into it. I am stoked. I'm into this Turtles, like, urban legends. Like, I'm loving it.
Only 6 more issues to go.
No, dude.
As we record, the last issue of the Image Run 23 has just come out this week. And so after this will be the 3 brand new issues to complete it.
I'm still amazed that after all these years we're actually getting closure. I mean, how often does that happen where, you know, 20-year-old series or 15-year-old series comes back from the dead and gets proper closure?
There are 2 prominent examples, but yes, it doesn't happen very often. And the examples are the Marvel Transformers and G.I. Joe series, which were both continued, coincidentally, at IDW, actually. So it is something they do sometimes when they can.
I was going to say, is that IDW's thing? Like, they just go ahead and scoop up some stuff?
It depends. I mean, they primarily do licensed comics. Generally speaking, they try to get, like, the old popular original material back in print. Like, they got all the Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff back in print from the Marvel days, because that stuff is, you know, the most popular. So what they did was they did their own Transformers series, an original version, but then they also brought the creators back for the Marvel versions. And the Transformers Generation Regeneration 1 lasted about 20 issues because they had Simon Furman, who's the big creator on that title, he had a set ending in mind. But Larry Hama came back on G.I. Joe and basically has continued to write it to this very day, and will probably do it forever. Because he apparently loves writing G.I. Joe. So that book's in like the 200s. So that's actually G.I. Joe's that series is actually one of the few titles with like the highest cover numbers, actually, because it picked up the old numbering. And basically
they just picked it up? Okay.
Yep, both series did.
I can't count that. I'm sorry. I can't count that. I refuse.
But it's the same creative team. It's the same series. Surely a 20-year hiatus shouldn't invalidate you.
I guess I just don't give a shit. Yeah, I think it does. I think if you stop for 20 years, you don't get to come back and say, "Oh, back to issue 185." Like, no, come on, bro.
You can if it's the same series with the same creative team. That's my rule.
Good to know.
So you're saying like Urban Legends can't continue with 24, 25, 26?
Nope. Because it hasn't been 20 years, so it doesn't count.
G.I. Joe is at issue
It's only
200.
been 15.
G.I. Joe is actually at 275, so in my book, it's actually one of the longest-running comics, number-wise, right now. Pretty impressive, actually. And
why don't you have Larry Ham on the show?
And actually, it's run for over almost 125 issues since it came back, too, so that's just impressive on its own.
No, that's good. I'm shocked. Actually, obviously, jokes aside, like any success in the North American comic market on any comic is a rising tide lifts all ships, baby. I'm just saying it's good for everyone. So, fuck yeah. That's awesome. That is good. And I'm hyped for G.I. Joe fans. Like, it's cool, man.
All right, so I think that's it for this issue. I mean, the Turtles issue was good. It's, I think at this point it's pretty, Fosco does good art. The coloring's been pretty good. I don't know if it's better than black and white, but it has not been offensive.
Soon it won't matter. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
Yeah, but I think it's been better than just offensive. And I'm gonna kill. The listener's gonna kill me, but what's Adam Guzowski? I think he's done a bang up job.
Agreed.
I've really enjoyed seeing
it's
it in color.
good, but there's certain things I don't like. Like he does digital color hold things particularly with the bright lights, which I don't care for because I'd rather it be done in a more traditional fashion.
I like it because it feels modern.
Yeah, but I don't think it looks. I mean, it looks modern, but I don't know if it looks great. I don't like the digital brush effects, especially with light sources. I just don't think it looks good.
It'd be different if he was burying the artwork, okay? If he was hiding an effect, if he was using an effect to overwhelm the artwork so much that you couldn't see the art. But I don't feel like he competes with the artwork when he does that. I feel like all it does is just, compliment it.
Like on the very last page with the Triceraton teleporting in, they've made him semi-transparent. They've made his inks like softer than what they would have been in the black and white. I don't have anything to compare it to, but I just feel that is a step too much, like turning in what was probably an ink drawing into like a digital effect.
He's transporting in, dude.
Oh,
I don't know if he's transporting in or he's just listening as like a hologram.
Well, that's the thing. He kind of looks like a hologram. I don't think it actually reads very well. I don't know. Like again, I don't know what it. But
I think that's what he's supposed to be. A hologram.
No, he's transmatting in.
in.
It's transmat. He's transmatting in.
Yeah,
that is what is happening for certain. But 100%. Yes, but
no, he's saying transmit.
Transmit.
He's teleporting in. It's a teleport effect, like Star Trek. What's wrong with that?
But Craig's not wrong. It also reads as a hologram listening in because I don't think the effect works.
I'm sorry, but you would have to be a dumbass if you thought that they were like, they literally tell you what they're doing. They're like, oh, we locked onto his thing. Oh, okay, well, go there and pick him up. And they're like, transmit, and they zap him. And then the next thing you see is there's a panel with the car with just the turtle, just Dawn and Horridus. And then next in the final panel, there's the guy. Clearly the dude guy. He's not. Why would he suddenly be a hologram? He transmitted in. It was like the whole sequence.
I mean, from my perspective, he already, the deck's already stacked against you when this stuff was inked to be black and white, and now you're trying to make it color. But honestly, I haven't. From my standpoint, I've really, really enjoyed the color because I did read it all in black and white.
Right.
I think it works well both, but I was really afraid, and I feel like we talk about this every time we review it, but I was afraid that the coloring was going to suck, and it's far from sucked for me. It's really brought out things that I didn't see before and helped me enjoy things better, like when they go to like the astral plane and stuff like that, which I think those color kind of his coloring on that works well. I do like the dark shadows of like the sewers and everything, and then the bright lights like we see on this transmitter or whatever,
right?
Or the laser gunfire that really kind of emphasizes how bright it is in a dark sewer. But I understand what you're saying, Jim. I guess for me, it's just the allure of seeing it in color for the first time and the coloring being decent in my book.
I think it's good, dude. I think it's good coloring. And I also think it's a high challenge to bring good coloring to work that was not drawn for it. Because a lot of the times when something's not drawn for color, it's drawn completely different than if it was drawn for color.
No, and you can see that difference between issue 1 of this image series and whatever this issue 19, where Frank changed up his inking style to make it match black and white, or make it work better with black and white. Because at issue 1, they thought they were going to do color.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. Well, on Savage Dragon 249, the calm before the storm. The countdown to Savage Dragon 250 continues as, unbeknownst to Malcolm Dragon, his greatest foes have gathered in an effort to eliminate him once and for all and take over the city of Toronto. A great jumping on point for new readers from award-winning writer-artist Erik Larsen. Bam. And that's Revenge of the Six.
Boom.
Coming at you.
We're getting closer.
Coming at you November 2019. It's still in the Diamond ID, so.
Well, the good thing is that Eric's kind of getting them all done, so I think for the foreseeable future we should be getting monthly issues.
Sure.
I think it's okay to pull back the curtain. Guys, we've read issue 300. There's a Cerberus reference, a Spawn reference. It's awesome. So, don't worry.
I'm pissed that Malcolm dies.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I didn't see it being at the hands of Maxine, that's for damn sure.
I definitely didn't see Mr. Glum taking over the book.
No, man, it's fucked. And the way he does it with all that sexual violence, Jim, I'm sure that disturbed you more than anyone.
I was too distracted by the huge reveal about the Seeker's secret past.
I mean, I knew he was building up to that, though, because there was no way that stuff about the Seeker, the way it just fizzled out into nothing. There's no way, dude. And then how he worked Scourge back in there, the Scourge redemption, so good.
Can't believe he's a hero
300's
now.
great.
The real hero we all need.
I think,
I can't believe the Seeker is actual dragon from the future that's teleported back. It's insane.
I can't believe you just let that slip on air.
I thought he was going to stay dead. I'm just shocked.
That's crazy, dude.
But that's all for another time.
Yeah, 50 issues from now, you bros.
50 months from now.
50 months. Yeah. We'll see you in 2023. It's gonna be so dope. No, wait, 2024, right?
No, it's 5 years, and a little less than 5 years, so it's more like 2024. No,
Guys?
wait, it's more. No, wait, it's math is hard, like
Yeah,
Barbie said.
Anyway, and when you guys get to where we are, you're gonna love it. It's great. The Cerberus reference is the funniest. He shits right down that guy's throat. I didn't think there'd be.
I can't believe
reference.
Erik finally relented and let somebody else draw the main story.
That's what makes it so cool, in a way.
Yeah.
Just
Written by McFarlane.
Threw that record in the trash. What a bold move!
Right on through him.
John Byrne. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Anyway, you guys are gonna love it. See you next time.
Peace.